Oh, are you confused? Are you? Oh no, he's looking at the playback. He's looking at the playback. He thinks there's another cat in the computer. This video is just to essentially be like, I'm kind of going to be all over the place. As you can see, it's taking place over like several different months. If you guys could, please be sure to go ahead and subscribe because it helps me out a great deal. Hey, look at this little boy. Look at this little boy. He needs food. He won't eat if you don't feed him. So please. But I'm just joking. In all seriousness, this takes place over a few months. I worked really hard on it, and I want to like have faster production for season 2 when I cover it. So if you guys could like, comment, subscribe, and share this with like tons of people or whatever. I'm actually very proud of this because this has been the most focused I have been on a project, and kind of this is where I want to take my content in the future. I want to do more commentary videos on dumb pop culture bullshit that I have missed over the years, and Pretty Little Liars is one of those things. So if you guys could be sure to go ahead and hit the subscribe button, like, comment, subscribe, and yeah, leave a like for Tigger, please. Tigger, please, actually, please, Tigger, stop. You're reaching peaks. You're digging into. All right, so before we get into this video, before I even do the primer, hey, what's going on, everybody? My name is Yanni. I look back at the past footage that I recorded. I didn't introduce myself. Hey, what's going on? My name is Yanni, and we're going to be breaking down season 1 of Pretty Little Liars, like in depth, like a little bit too in depth than it needs to be. I don't know. I saw other people's look at Pretty Little Liars. Some broke it down by like solving who A was. This person right here, if I remember to zoom in right here, this person. Also, who killed Allison? Are they both one and the same? And I don't know. I was kind of interested in breaking down Pretty Little Liars because I recently watched, well, I'm watching through season 1 because when I was a kid, when I was like 12, 13 years old, the show came out, and I had friends that were obsessed with it, and it just wasn't my demographic. I didn't watch it. But then later, as time goes on, I started getting into more true crime stuff, and even like more like teen soapy dramas, because like, I don't know, Riverdale was my catalyst, and I was just like, oh my God, are all teen dramas like this? Yes and no. And my friend pointed me to a couple that I could go back and watch, and maybe we'll talk about them. But for right now, we're focusing on Pretty Little Liars because after watching season 1, there's just so much bullshit involved in Pretty Little Liars, and I'm going to be talking about it in the future. But primer before we get into that. So the discussion for that was done before I set everything up. And I didn't realize that the camera that I was using was bad, or it wasn't recording at like 4K. So things are going to look terrible. I'm sorry. And also the lighting was weird, and then I checked the footage. It was just bad. So if you don't mind bad footage but good commentary, then stay tuned. We're going to be breaking down that version of Yanni is past Yanni, as I like to say. He is going to be breaking down episodes 1 through 13 of Pretty Little Liars. And then, yeah, you'll see future Yanni again. Once we get past once we get past episodes 1 through 13, and then I want to do a breakdown on what all this means, because yeah, we are yeah, a lot has happened, and yeah, with that being said, take it away, past Yanni, with the low quality camera. And also wearing pajamas. It was like 1 in the morning. Ignore the pajamas, or don't, or whatever.
From the producers of The Vampire Diaries.
They found Allison's body.
A new ABC Family original series.
This is no longer a missing persons investigation. It's a murder.
Never trust a pretty girl with an ugly secret.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name is Yanni, and currently I am in my pajamas. What's good, y'all? I bet you guys are used to a certain type of content that's on my channel. I've been reacting to some stuff over the years, or what have you, for about a couple years. I got to 1,000 subscribers off of it. Thanks, by the way, for having to be a subscriber that happened to wander back to this channel. Thank you very much. But you may be looking at the title of this video and you may be like, hey, what is going on? What's going on here? So yeah, Pretty Little Liars. All right, so check it out. Over the past year, I have been reacting to a little show called Pretty Little Liars. It was very popular back in the 2010s, all the way up to like around like the mid 2010s. I want to say like 2015, 2016 type shit. This was mostly targeted towards my demographic. If you happen to be a younger millennial under the age of 35, this was probably your shit back in the day. I mean, it brought in intrigue, the main mystery being who is A. A being this obsessive stalker kind of girl boss like figure that is haunting over a small town, and specifically hunting over these 4 girls that were part of a popular friend group surrounding a girl named Alice. Now, in the beginning, I was just reacting to these videos because I was just like, hey, not really in my wheelhouse. Wasn't really my target demographic, if you could tell. Back when I was a kid, I'm sorry. This came out when I was like 13, 14 years old. And I'm sorry, the show didn't really scream young black male demographic. I'm sorry. And also I was too busy watching anime. But if I would have known how crazy and insane that this show gets, almost to anime levels, like let's be honest, A is an anime villain. Does A stand for anime? Who knows? Probably. I'm only like halfway through season 1. But this show brings in tons of mystique, tons of mystery. You want to know who is A, because some of the levels that A goes to get revenge or to sort of like troll these girls is on like an absurd level. Like, what are the sort of resources that this person has? I don't understand. And also part of the intrigue comes from me being a late watcher, with me trying to understand what the fuck went wrong with Pretty Little Liars. Because let's face it, it's about well over a decade since it ended. And most of the memes are about how crazy the twists are in this show, and they don't really make any sense. So sit back and relax. We are going to be going through the journey of season 1. What the fuck is happening in Pretty Little Liars? Now, I've been scrolling through essentially my recommended, and I'm getting a lot of like retrospective recommended videos, and people sort of tackled the breakdown, or how should I put it, the synopsis of what Pretty Little Liars is, from either a mystery detective sort of standpoint where they're trying to solve who the fuck A is. I'm not going to waste your time with that because I know damn well it's not going to make a goddamn sense who the hell A is. Some people do like timelines, family trees, try to break down mysteries and all that stuff. But again, this show is kind of nonsensical because I'm going to assume that most of the stuff, the reveals, the plot twists don't make any damn sense. And I think in order to have the maximum amount of fun when it comes to doing a retrospective, a first time reaction, is just to, like, I don't know, go crazy, go nuts. And also, unfortunately, I see another trend in one of these type of videos is I don't know, like a poster board of like people's faces and stuff right here, so that you guys can see all that. But also, some of y'all watch these things as podcasts, so is there a point to visual elements? I don't know, but is a vision board necessary with red yarn string pointing to different characters, showing you how these people are interconnected, who's fucking who, who's talking to who? I don't know. Let me know in the comment section down below. I don't know. Maybe halfway through this video, you're going to see magically a conspiracy board pop up in the background because I just get tired and say fuck it. Boom, evidence board. Look at this right here. But for right now, I'm going to leave all this to editing Yanni to throw up pictures of characters when I refer to certain characters in the story. Does that sound good? There's probably going to be like a mystery board up here because I don't know. I want to fit in with the rest of the commentary channels that talk about this stuff. So I guess. And interestingly enough, much like other channels, there is a way to support this channel, support the eventual board that's going to be right here. It's going to be right here. It's going to be right here eventually. But in order to help me out, if you want to fund this in any way, shape, or form, because I'm kind of doing it for fun. I kind of really was getting into Pretty Little Liars a little bit too deeply, and I want to make a video about it. I want to talk about it, I want to discuss about it, because I feel from watching other people's season 1 breakdowns of Pretty Little Liars, I have some interesting thoughts and concerns about Pretty Little Liars. I kind of want to get that shit off my chest. So that's part of the reason why I'm doing this. I'm testing it out with Pretty Little Liars because there's an audience for it, and I want to do this eventually with other shows that I watched on this channel, like specifically Lost. Lost is batshit insane. Lost is like Pretty Little Liars for nerds in their 40s. I'm sorry, I said it here. I like it right now. That's what I said right here today. But yeah, I want to do this with more stuff. So if you want to support me, just leave a like and subscribe, and also become a YouTube member. You get access to stuff early, and also join the Patreon, because guess what? On the Patreon, you're going to be able to see my reactions to Pretty Little Liars. But be that as it may, that's going to be available over on Patreon for only $7. Get access to that and early access to other stuff, and also other crap that I'm working on currently. As I said, Lost is one of those things that's up there. So I highly suggest you go ahead and check it out if you want to. I'm already running out of breath. How do people do this for like hours? Let's just jump right into the main premise of Pretty Little Liars, shall we? As I mentioned before, Pretty Little Liars surrounds a certain friend group around 5 girls. Well, 4, but it was 5. Allison De Laurentiis. We got Emily, boom, Aria, Spencer, and Hannah. So basically these 5 different girls represents 5 different archetypes or what have you that carries a narrative. You know, you got to have your sort of alternative artsy fartsy girl. That's Aria. You got Hannah. She's kind of like the vapid sort of shopaholic type girl, but she was fat once. That was a character personality we're going to talk about later. Hannah was fat, or at least she wore a pillow under her shirt showing that she was fat. I'm sorry, the fat suit that they had for Hannah was ridiculous. As a chubby lad myself, I was giving myself a little bit of a chuckle just looking at what they did in order to pull off the fat Hannah in the flashbacks, where it's just like, hey, someone put a pillow onto Ashley Benson real quick. Sure, she's gonna look fat. Fat Hannah, no. I'm staying, because she's misshapen, bro. She's shaped like Oogie Boogie. What's going on? They need to fix the pillow. Fix the pillow. Hannah's like the vapid shopaholic type, but again, her personality trait before a certain incident, she was known as Fat Hannah. Has Spencer Hastings, my favorite, the MVP of this show. Spencer Hastings, she's like kind of like the book smart girl or whatever. She's always very inquisitive. She is also very no nonsense type person. Very skeptical, very paranoid of other people. And yeah, she kind of carries the show because she's probably the only one that's really trying to figure things out. Hannah tries her best. She tries, but like Spencer's like holding it down. And then we got Emily. Emily's there. She's kind of just there. She's gay. That's another personality trait of Emily. She's gay. She really does nothing wrong, but her personality trait is that she's gay. I'm sorry I mentioned that, but I'm sorry, for right now her character arc is the fact that she is coming to terms with the fact that she's gay or lesbian. That's not a knock to the character, but unfortunately that's pretty much the only thing we focus on with Emily. And also her mom's like kind of like a conservative or whatever. She's like, yeah, I don't want you doing any of that gay shit. And then the main girl that sort of brings the friend group together is the main bitch herself, Allison De Laurentiis. She is your stereotypical mean girl. She is mean, and she gets around. She does a lot of stuff. Like, she's blackmailing everybody. She blackmailed the whole entire town. I swear to God, if the ending is we were all A all along, the A was the friends that we made along the way. Because at this point, I feel like we're not even breaking down the episodes yet, but I just feel like she has her hands in so many cookie jars around the town. It wouldn't surprise me if like multiple people tried to kill this girl, because she is just too much. I hate her. If I was in the town, I would probably kill her. I'm sorry. I would actually. I would be the only black person that would be minding their own damn business in that town. I'm lying. I would not give 2 shits about what's going on, but I'm just saying. Allison is a lot. And with that, Allison having all these secrets, being this type of like bitchy bratty person, the main crux of the story, or what initially starts to show off and like what propels the narrative, is the fact that Allison De Laurentiis disappeared. She just up and vanished. That's what episode 1 is. Allison has been missing for a long time. She's on that damn milk carton. We don't know where the fuck she's at, right? She's been gone for a while. And then the four girls, because Allison was like the glue that held everybody together, because they all have like different personalities. Honestly, they wouldn't be in the same friend group. But because Allison held them all together, they all four went off in their separate ways. Fat Hannah is no longer Fat Hannah. She is Hot Hannah now, and she has a sidekick, Mona. Mona was also a victim of Allison, so I'm just going to clock it right now. Mona, I'm going to put like a picture right here, this girl right here. I think she's A. Off the bat, I just think she's A. Giving A energy. I'm not going to deep dive. I'm not going to think too hard. I'm just going off a gut. My Negro senses, and my Negro senses is that she's A, because as soon as Allison disappeared, she just weirdly became popular before. As much like Fat Hannah, before Allison was gone, Hannah was fat. Mona was also unpopular. She had glasses, so that means she was ugly. Look at this uggo right here. Am I right? Am I right, lads? Am I right? This ugly girl with these ugly glasses. But yeah, I think Mona's A. Like the Alpha episode 1, I was just like, yeah, this bitch is A. But they're probably going to make it too convoluted and not make any sense or whatever. But that's what my gut feeling is right now. And then you have Spencer Hastings. She was always kind of like the pseudo leader of the group anyway. She's like very bold-minded. Allison was probably the only one getting in her way realistically. She's still doing her like honor roll shit. She's still deep in the books. Emily is like killing it with swimming. She's like an all-star swimmer. She's like the jock girl. She's like a jock girl. She's focusing on that. Arya's story is a little bit different. She left. We're going to talk about that later. She like literally fled the country. And not because Allison went missing, but because her dad got like a job overseas or whatever. But like that nigga was running from something because like her dad has like marital problems. He out there cheating. He's out there cheating. And in later episodes, we learned that Allison was potentially blackmailing her father about this. So other people knew about him cheating. So it's suspected that he left because he's just trying to like let the heat die down or whatever. But I'm getting ahead of myself. This is my ADHD brain. I'm jumping plots. That's why I need the board. I need the board right here. I need it. It's going to show up soon. But yeah, Arya went away overseas for a little while. But all this time, Allison was still missing. She was presumed missing. The search was still on, but like, yeah, it is what it is. Allison was just missing. Her parents moved on. They moved to a different house because I guess they don't want the memories of their missing, presumably dead daughter lingering around. So that's what they did. All right, so we're going to properly break down how the first episode went because it basically gives an insight about like the tea of this episode, what the tea is, what each girl's like sort of thing that they're kind of hiding, and secrets that they may be holding in. Because guess what? At the end of the episode, we get introduced to a person named A that knows about their secrets and they're willing to expose them. So start from the beginning. As I said, these four girls kind of separated and went their own ways. And it's sort of giving like showing a glimpse of each of these girls of what they're doing. As I said, Mona and Hannah are best buds. They're the dynamic duo. They're together. They're shopping. They're doing a little bit of shopping. And Hannah's a little bit of a sticky finger. She's a sticky bandit. Now, Hannah ain't no broke bitch. She's no broke girl. Well, as of right now, she's not like a little broke girl. She can afford to possibly buy whatever she's stealing, but she just does it. I don't know, is it for the thrill? But she does it because she wants it. That's how we set up Hannah. She's kind of like a little kleptomaniac. Not really a dominant trait of Hannah. It doesn't really show up later in the series or in the show, season 1. Again, I'm only at episode 13 as of right now where I'm recording this section. But yeah, she's a little bit of a klepto. We cut over to, and then we get a little bit of info about Emily. Again, she's like kind of the sporty girl. We mostly get to know about her second personality trait, her being gay or being closeted at least. When we got a new girl named Maya, she moves into Allison's place. As I mentioned before, once Allison went missing, her mother kind of packed up everything and left. So she's kind of occupying that area, the new family that moved in. It's important because something's going to be revealed at the end of this episode. So Maya moves in to that residence. She becomes buddy with Emily. There's a little bit of a gay vibe there, but I don't know. It's different with girls. Girls are different. I don't know. Are they just being friendly or are they gay? I don't know. I can't comprehend it. But yeah, Maya and Emily have a little bit of a meet cute. So her little dark, dirty secret is the fact that she's gay, or at least a little bi, or I don't know. Maybe she's gay. I don't know how it plays out. Then we got Spencer. Spencer's a little bit complicated, as I mentioned, that she is kind of like a smarty pants, kind of a know-it-all a little bit. But it's because of her sister. Her sister's just like Spencer 2.0. She does everything well above and beyond that Spencer can do. Everything that Spencer can do, her sister can do better. Her sister's name is Melissa. But one thing that Spencer can do better than Melissa can is lure in pedophiles. And the reason why I say that, because even though this is clearly a woman in her 20s, she is portraying someone that is a teenager, and she has a constant habit of stealing her sister's boyfriends. Now, here goes a thing that's kind of weird in this show. I am not sure what the age gap is. I'm not going to look it up, mostly due to the fact because I don't want to be spoiled. So in the comment section down below, what are the age gaps supposed to be between Melissa, I want to say Generation Melissa versus Generation Spencer. I know Generation Spencer are like 15, 16 years old, but Generation Melissa are clearly like graduated from college at the bare minimum, which is confusing because they portray high schoolers and the people Melissa's age as much older. Like, for example, people that are Hannah, Spencer, Arya and stuff, they're kind of coded as like college age students. You know, they are way too independent than they're supposed to be for when they look like they're in their 20s. And it's just very confusing. And I don't know, for this show just seems like far more egregious because it feels like we're not in school as much. And the stakes are like a little bit too high. Like, I don't know. It's also the same feeling I got when I watched Gossip Girl, where it's just like, these aren't high school students. Like, even though I can sort of buy 20-year-olds playing as teenagers, sort of like Riverdale, but at the same time, like, I was able to buy that they're still in high school because there was like a lot of high school shit going on and the parents were like super active. And Pretty Little Liars is weird because, as I said, Spencer is kind of coded to be like a college student and Melissa's coded to be someone in like their late 20s, but I think she's supposed to be like at the bare minimum 23, 24, which if I was as well adjusted as someone like Melissa at the age of 24, like have a career path set down and stuff, getting married, has a fiance, I don't know. These 24-year-olds are different. But also I don't know what the age gap is. And also it seems like the age gap is much closer, but also there's like a 7 years age difference. Like, I don't know. Just let me know in the comment section down below. What is the age difference? That was a hell of a tangent. Back over to Spencer. He steals her sister's boyfriends because Melissa just has a habit of like dating pedophiles. I don't know, because like every single man she gets is just like, yeah, right to the 14-year-old. Or her secret is that she kind of like is a little bit she's a victim basically. She hooks up with her sister's boyfriends who are significantly older than her, and that's kind of the main problem with this show, and a reason that I'm kind of like putting in a caveat when I am talking about this. And some people may hate me for it. Some people may call me names for it. They may be like, oh, you support like all this, the age discrepancy. No, I have to do this because the show is written like an insane person and they want us to root for and like certain characters that are doing illegal activities. And that brings us to Arya and Ezra. It's kind of innocent. We were not sure how old Arya is, and she meets a guy that's clearly college age at a college bar that she is using an ID to purchase drinks. So we assume that like, oh, she's above age, she's on board or whatever. Maybe the Allison thing happened years ago. She's like a adult now. She hooks up with Ezra, and then it's revealed that Arya is actually still in high school and Ezra is now going to be teaching at her high school. And at first, I respected the man. He was like, oh shit, I didn't know you're purchasing drinks at like a college bar. I thought you were a college student. So my bad, let me step away. But unfortunately, Ezra has the urge. He has the PDF urge. He needs to be with Arya for some reason. So instead of like doing the noble thing and backing down and being like, I made a mistake, this will never happen again, he doubled down and is like, hey, yo, I already broke the law. Might as well break it a couple more times. Am I right, gentlemen? You ever been caught in a situation like that? This is sarcasm, by the way. Don't raise your hand. So the big secret is the fact that Arya is being groomed, or that she's having a relationship with a man that's far older than her. Again, she's the victim in all this. That situation is not too big of a deal. So now that we got sort of like the secrets out of the way and sort of understanding the characters' perspectives with episode 1. Again, episode 1 recap is probably going to be the longest because we got to establish these characters, who they are, what's going on. That's what we're doing. So now that we got all that out the way, what happened to Allison? So we get glimpses and flashbacks throughout each introduction of the character, basically Allison interacting with each of these characters, and you get the vibe that she's a bitch. I'm sorry, no sugarcoating it. Allison was a bitch. She's basically the evil devil on the shoulders of these teenagers to sort of do the wrong thing or be the worst possible human being that they can. Like when Spencer is being conflicted about hooking up with her sister's boyfriends, Allison's just like, get it, girl, slay. Have sex with those older men. That's cool. I'm doing it. There's a point where Allison and Arya catch her father making out with one of his students in the car. And then we all know in our head that, yeah, Allison's going to use that shit. She got something plotted in the back of her head. She's going to use that as information that she can hold over somebody. And she's just over there snickering and giggling and cracking wise and shit while Arya's life is breaking down in front of her. And then meanwhile, she's just serving cunt. And it's just like, ma'am, my family is old. I saw my dad having sex with one or making out with one of his students, and you're over here making these sassy ass comments. Like, what is wrong with her? She's clearly a sociopath. Allison was also interacting with Fat Hannah. She was basically saying, you're fat, you're a fatty fat person. Look at you. Looks like you have a pillow underneath your shirt. And let's be honest, she was slim, thick, not fat. We don't body shame here. So basically all around Allison was being the worst. So these girls weren't really missing her. They're like, oh, it sucks that Allison's gone. Oh no. I guess this is sort of the show that maybe one of these girls kidnapped and killed Allison. Maybe they did something with Allison. And also there's another flashback of like them all together in like a barn or like a shed or whatever. And it was like a dark and stormy night and they were all together with Allison. Allison steps away and then she like disappears. Spencer comes back like, where the fuck is that? I don't know where Allison is. Where's Allison at? So yeah, that is the night that Allison went missing. So it's kind of like left to the audience to assume that maybe one of the girls know the whereabouts of what happened to Allison or what did actually happen to Allison that night. Because spoiler alert, Allison's dead. She's dead as shit. So it goes from being a missing case to like who done it, who killed the bitch, and also who the hell is A. But again, I'm jumping ahead of myself. Let's go back to when I was talking about things being problematic and me sort of washing over certain things. I briefly mentioned Ezra and Arya's situation, the Ezra and Arya situation. The reason why I didn't harp on it too much is because this is going to be a thing constantly throughout the remainder of this season from what I have been seeing. And I've messaged a friend who was an avid Pretty Little Liars fan, and they were like, get used to it because that motherfucker is here to stay. At least for the next few seasons, they said, at least. The mindset that I'm going to have with the character of Ezra is that we are going to kind of look at it as these girls are in college or whatever, or they exist in this magical world where the age of consent is like 14 or whatever the fuck. I don't like this world. I hate being here. If I could push it up to the age of 21, I would do so. Far too young, problematic age gap. But in order for me to get into the mindset of the show, I have to look at Ezra as potentially a good guy in the story, narratively speaking, because realistically what the writers, showrunners would do is sort of use this, him being sort of like this child predator, as like, oh, this is your black hat, this is your bad guy, he's eventually going to die, something bad's going to happen. But I had a friend spoiled it to me. They're like, yeah, no, they're going to stick around forever. And like people were actually supporting the relationship at the time. So I guess with that being said, we are going to have to like just remove all conversations about him being like what he is off the table, because if the writers don't take that into account, there's no point in me harping on it each time, because I saw as myself reacting to each episode, I constantly like would be silent during these things. I would skip over them because it would just be like I didn't know how to take it. I was just watching like this rumor constantly existing and just like being portrayed as like a good guy. So like in order for me to get over this, I just have to like ignore everything when it comes to Ezra Fitz and like his age or whatever, and him being a teacher. And also it kind of helps the fact that like all these actors are like in their 20s, so like I don't really buy that they're high school students anyway. Just know that like this is fiction. I will never support underage relationships in any way, shape, or form. This is just fiction. We gotta get through it. So instead of harping on, if the show's not going to harp on it, I'm not going to harp on it. So if you're expecting me to mention the problematic age gap each time, it's not going to happen. It's just going to be too tiring. And also, I'm probably not going to focus on Arya and Ezra too much, because luckily enough, they're boring. I'm sorry, I'm on episode 13 so far. Their plot lines are boring. Guess what? Ace blackmailing them about their problematic relationship. Oh, wow. Let's see how far we can stretch that. So yeah, we're not going to really be focusing on that from that aspect. So it is what it is. And as I said, their plot lines are boring anyway, so we're probably barely going to touch on Arya. So now that I got that little rant out the way, it's time to jump ahead to the ending. I know it's ADHD. Yanni, you need the board. The board will keep you organized. It's coming. I don't know why I'm obsessing over this board. I see it in all these different like breakdowns and I'm obsessed over it. I want to get one. So we're at the end. Everything's winding down, everything's wrapping up, and then suddenly police are outside. Emily is next door. She's like, oh, what's going on? What could possibly be happening? Mike shows up. She walks up. I'm so sorry. It's Allison. So it is discovered that Allison's body was buried in the backyard of her neighbor's house. How unfortunate. The only black family in that town, and like, surprise, surprise, a little white girl in the back of your fucking yard or whatever. If this was realistically portrayed, Maya and her family would have been packed up. What the fuck is this dead little white girl doing in your backyard? Explain this. Explain, and you're gay too? But no, they find Allison's dead body in the backyard, buried. Looks like Allison was dead all along. And then they get a message from the main character of this show, the girl boss herself. I don't know if they're a girl. It gives girl because they're a little bit too sassy. Girl or gay guy? Girl or gay guy, it has to be, because they're a little bit too sassy. Like I couldn't see like a cis male being as sassy and messy as A is. Like that honestly could be a gay guy, because like it gives the messiness of like a gay guy. But also it's most likely Mona. It's most likely Mona. She's like the only outside of 13 episodes I'm watching, if it isn't Mona and it's somebody else, because every time they introduce a new character in this show, there's always this like dumbass moment that the girls have of like, oh, could this be A? And I'm like, no, nigga, are you dumb? No, that's not A. And it like gets more and more ridiculous each time like a new person pops up. They're a little bit suspicious and they're like, oh, maybe that's A, or oh, we shouldn't trust them. But we'll talk about that more as the show goes on, because it gets stupider and stupider, the fact that they're keeping in some of these secrets. Because in the next few episodes, we are introduced to a character named Jenna. Jenna is blind for some reason. We don't know how she got blind. Well, it's revealed to us how she got blind. The girls exploded on her. I could have said something totally different. The girls shot fireworks at her like they're fucking 10-year-old boys and blew her shit up, and now she's blind. Mostly the culprit was Allison. She kind of goaded the girls into doing it, and Jenna's now blind. And then like they're just mad suspect of her. Like she could be A because like we blinded her, and then like now she's A. And also we assume that A killed Allison, because it's never really clearly stated that A did kill Allison. It could be one of the girls killed Allison, and eventually A is going to like resurface some of these secrets, because that's what A is doing. He's resurfacing some of these secrets. He's basically being the new Allison, kind of being messy, being like, hey, I'm basically watching your life. I know all this shit. I can reveal it at a drop of the hat. But I'm going to make you do dumb shit. I'm Jigsaw, but with the energy of a very bored 15-year-old girl. I'm just going to spill tea every time you don't do something I asked you to do. And it's kind of hilarious, as I said, because some of these secrets aren't really worth keeping. Again, and I get it. They're supposed to be teenagers. It's like the weight of the world is on their shoulders. They believe that these secrets are bigger than what they are. But see, the thing with Jenna, one of the main things that they're worried about is it might get out that they blinded Jenna. But it doesn't matter because they have the perfect scapegoat of it being Allison. Allison's dead. You can just go ahead and point and be like, hey, the blonde bitch did it. Not Hannah, the other blonde bitch. She did it. And then like, oh, blame it on the dead girl. But I get it. They're high schoolers. They believe like the worst thing can possibly happen, so they're scared to like admit anything. But like, I'm a petty asshole. If someone was like, oh yeah, we're going to release all of your secrets known to man, you better do this shit, I'm going to be like, do it then. No, dead ass, do it. I'm gonna go to the police right now, because I can guarantee there's nothing I've done that is worth me being locked up. Sure, I'm going to have embarrassment from my peers, family, or whatever, but I don't give a shit. The amount of pettiness that I have towards people that do stuff like that is exponential, so you can never catch me slipping like that. All right, so the main thing with Pretty Little Liars is there's a lot of unnecessary bullshit. And when I say that, there's like a lot of secrets that happens in Pretty Little Liars. Some are important, most are very, very much unimportant. And we're, for the next few episodes, we're going to mention some things that happen or whatever. And I'm just going to kind of be like very blase blah about them, because for the most part, it's just like girls do something sneaky. A goes like, up, I saw that. And then she texts this. And it's always hilarious because like every time they receive a text message, it's like a little time capsule. I get to see 2010s early smartphones, and it's just like the most hilarious thing ever, because it's just like the most old and dated technology. And then A is just sending like this text message, and the girls open up these little square phones. Remember the little square phones that they tried to market, flip out as like a little keyboard or whatever. Like, cell phones used to be interesting before they were just like glass slabs. They used to do shit with them. And it's always funny watching these like teen dramas or whatever, just like have like 8 different types of experimental phones that were like sponsored throughout the day, because each cell phone company was just like, hey, what's the new gadget we can get into these teenagers' hands? So I don't know, it's always fun seeing like what new phone are the girls using this time, what weird brick of a phone are they using this time. But anyway, as I said, A finds something out and text message the girls, be like, hey, I saw you do that, now it's time for me to blackmail you. It's a vicious cycle. For example, Spencer, she at it again, just hooking up with older dudes. Just her sister's fiance just decides to kiss her out of nowhere. Everything's fucked up. They break off the engagement and everything, and that was apparently a big deal. Resolved that in about an episode or whatever. His name is Ren, by the way. I'm gonna throw up his little image right here. I don't know if he comes back or not later, but he just feels like a character that's just kind of like, he's done for now. He has a corny line of being like, oh, I think I fell in love with the wrong sister. And he's British, by the way. That's why I did the terrible accent. He's like, I fell in love with the wrong sister. He doesn't sound like that, but that's in my head how he sounds. He says that corny ass shit. I was just like, ew. Cue the meme sound effect. Give me ew.wav. Also, Spencer plagiarizes her sister's old paper or whatever that's going to be used against her. Again, solved in about a couple of episodes or so. It is what it is. There's also this detective Holden or whatever. He just shows up. He comes into town being like, I suspect you 4 girls of killing Allison for some reason. He's very dead set on these like 4 little girls killing this girl, which honestly, I kind of understand it or what have you, but not really, because there's better suspects all around. Like her parents are just scot-free. Like Allison has like parents alive and a brother. Why aren't they being questioned first or whatever? Where are they even at? They show up later, or at least her brother shows up later in a few episodes down the line. But like, why aren't they the suspects number one? They were popular by proxy because of Allison. If Allison disappeared, that would ruin their bag. So like, question Mona, question literally anybody else in the school. They have more of a motive than these girls, but he's really dead set on it. He's a detective that we meet when Hannah gets busted for stealing stuff or whatever. Hannah's mom, she kind of fine. She's fine for an older gal, so she decides to like throw it out there for the detective. She's like, I'll slang it out there real quick or whatever. You can get my daughter off this. But it's kind of hilarious because almost immediately, expeditiously, this motherfucker starts suspecting her daughter twice as hard after she went ahead and slept with a guy first to get Hannah off on a misdemeanor or whatever. She probably would have just got fined. I'm pretty sure they wouldn't have pressed charges to put her in jail for stealing, but it is what it is. She slept with the detective. She slept with him. He doubled down and starts investigating her daughter heavily. And it's funny because it's like, was the pussy that bad where he's just like, you know what? I'm angry now. Now I need to suspect your daughter of these crimes. And it's in the most out of pocket way ever, because it's not only like I suspect your daughter, I'm also going to fat shame her and be like, yeah, you were fat back when Allison was alive, but now she's gone and you're skinny. You removed the pillow under your shirt as soon as Allison got missing. Did you smother Allison to death with the pillow that you were hiding under your shirt, Hannah? Fatty, you fat girl. Like basically, this is basically what he's saying. He's like, yo, you fat bitch, you killed Allison. And like just going super hard on Hannah for some reason. And I'm like, homie, you're sleeping with her mother. Like I would go easy. Like I would go easy regardless, because like, you know what, even if like the sex wasn't that good, I'd be like, she invited me into her home. This motherfucker, nigga with his shirt out, drinking juice out of my fridge and whatnot, and then have the nerve to suspect my daughter? You gotta be insane. All I'm saying is I would never do that. Hannah's mom, call me. I'm just joking. Throughout these episodes that I've seen, he's just terrible at doing his job. His main job is just to be a deterrent to the girls, because like he provides like no substance, no like evidence on these girls other than the fact of vibes. He's like a vibes-based detective. He's just like, I don't know, something about y'all hiding a secret, and like I need to know it. Let me see what else do we got going on. Arya's little thing she got going on with like her father's mistress showing up, Meredith. She's like a weirdo. She's like, I really want to be around him all the time. Like, ma'am, you can like you can find a guy your age that wants to do the devil's tangle with you. You don't have to go through all this. He's a married man, but I get it. He has like nice benefits, probably a 401k, tenured. I don't know, she's just trying too hard. The story, again, that plot line's not really that interesting to me, if I'm being quite honest. And again, it kind of gets solved relatively quickly or what have you. Emily's gay. I'm just joking. I want to stop harping over the fact that that's her only character trait is the fact that she's gay. There's more to her. She's a closeted gay person. She has a boyfriend who tried to sexually assault her in the girls' locker room. We don't like that. But Handsome Squidward is to the rescue. This is Handsome Squidward, by the way. So Toby is Jenna's stepbrother. Emphasis on stepbrother because they be doing the nasty together. We learned that they do the nasty together. But this is Toby, Jenna's stepbrother, kind of like a dangerous kid. But he's kind of weird, but kind of like a gentle, like a gentle soul, because he steps in, saves Emily from her sexually assaulting boyfriend, and it gives Emily the chance to look at him and be like, "Hey, is he this like evil like misfit that everybody is thinking that he is, or what have you?" Because he's kind of like prime suspect number one when it comes to like Allison missing, because she tortured the fuck out of Toby, apparently, and also he is related to Jenna, and you would assume that her brother would seek vengeance for Allison blinding his sister. At the point I'm at, it is a red herring. I don't think he killed Allison or what have you, but it's made to believe that he did, just based off of him just being dark and mysterious and all that shit. So how this recap for season 1 is going to go, for most of the plot threads that really amount to nothing, they're going to be kind of gone to the wayside. And yes, that includes this guy right here, Spencer's little love interest or whatever. It is what he's the poor boy. He works at the country club that Spencer plays tennis or whatever at. It's like a forbidden romance or whatever. That goes nowhere. We're not going to talk about it. He's there. They don't even, like, you can tell it goes nowhere because there is not even a inkling of him being a suspect to potentially be A, because every time a new person is being introduced, there's a possibility like, oh, it might be A, but no, this guy, he gets no fanfare. He's just like, Spencer's love interest. Also, Emily and Maya sort of thing, they kind of have like an off and on thing, basically, because Emily is closeted. She doesn't know how to deal with it. And also she kind of comes out eventually, testing the waters or whatever. And that's pretty much how her story plays out. She's mostly focusing on conquering her sexuality, which is all good or whatever. But I'm here for the drama. I'm here for to figure out who A is. And also, who killed Allison? Was it A? Was it one of the girls? We gotta figure that out. So we're mostly focusing on May's story beats, and if anything funny or interesting pops up, I'm going to mention it. So this is where you leave your comments and concerns down in the comment section down below of like, do you want me to focus more on these like weird plot elements that don't really amount to nothing, that are just basically filler? We can do that if you want to. I'm fine with doing that. Fuck it, let's do it. Fuck it, we ball. Let's talk about random shit. Yeah, you want to talk about some dumb shit or some extra shit? Honestly, low-key, the misadventures of Hannah. She honestly has some like shenanigans going on in the background. I kind of like what she, like, even if what she is doing is not necessarily relevant to the plot, it's always fun to watch her her little misadventures, because I feel like outside of like, because as I said, like the two strongest main characters in the show is Spencer and Hannah. Spencer, if you want like the plot, she's like driving the plot like hardcore. She's out here figuring shit out. But Hannah, she's just going through pure shenanigans. Like, for example, she crashed her boyfriend's car. Boyfriend Sean, he's a cornball, but like she crashes his car because he wouldn't go all the way with her, because he's like a good little Christian boy. He's like, yeah, not until marriage. Hannah got upset. She crashed his car to a ditch. He forgave her though, because like she's hot, I guess, and he was just like, yeah. Hannah also like joins this like abstinence club. This is where we meet Lucas for the first time. This is Lucas. Lucas is he's like the nerdy, sarcastic guy, kind of an incel. We'll talk about that later. But yeah, we got Lucas. He was also bullied by Allison. He could possibly be A. He has like the sassiness for it. Like, I guess he could possibly be A, I think, if that's the route they want to go down. But I think that could also be a misdirection. And also Lucas does something later that makes you think, is he possibly A? But I don't think so. But yeah, we meet Lucas, kind of a sarcastic guy. He and Hannah bond for a little bit. They become friends because they both don't take abstinence club seriously. Toby and Emily get a little bit closer. They become like closer friends or whatever. And because Emily's struggling with her sexuality, she's kind of like pushing more towards to be romantic towards Toby. So that happens. And this all sort of leads up to the homecoming event. This is around episode 6 and 7. So actually one more Hannah shenanigan, which I thought was funny, and only a few people are going to get. She runs into, okay, so she's working at a dental office or whatever as community service or whatever the fuck. She runs into this guy that's a security guard or police officer or whatever. I thought this was funny. For those of you guys that don't know, he was in an episode of iCarly, and for some reason this episode lives rent-free in my head. So we're going to take a little iCarly tangent break. So I just remember this guy because he's featured on the episode of iCarly where Spencer puts up a sign and it's just like, it glitches out and it says "Pee on Carl," and one of the officers that arrested Spencer for the disruption on the freeway was Officer Carl. They pee on Carl. So literally when I saw this character, this little side extra character show up, I was just like, hey, Officer Carl, Peon Carl. That's the first thing that goes through my head. A fucking almost 20-year-old show. But anyway, Peon Carl, security officer for the building that they're in, which is like a medical facility building. Hannah's like a dental assistant or like an assistant or whatever. But also this place is also like a psychology office as well, which houses the information of like Toby Kavanaugh's like psych evaluations and shit or whatever. That becomes important because the girls do a little bit of illegal activity. They break into the night of homecoming. They force Hannah to break into that office and steal. At first, it was Jenna's medical reports, but then they're like, nah, actually get Toby, because they suspected Jenna being but then also Toby is mad sus because look at him, looks kind of creepy. So they're like, Hannah, why don't you go ahead and steal his little files or whatever. And also he has this weird tattoo, 9/11 free at last. Is September 1st free at last, marking the day that Allison disappeared. So like, but I always joke it's 9/11 because like he's just remembering the day, you know? It was a change for us all. They're a suspect because like, why is he so happy that Allison disappeared, that Allison's missing? And I'm like, I guess half of the school is like happy that she's missing. Fucking Lucas, she called Lucas Hermie, short for hermaphrodite. Straight up being an asshole towards people. So it's just like, if you take that into account, again, like half of the town probably hates this girl. You just need to come up with like some better evidence for me. And also it's episode 6, girls, calm the fuck down. It's not Toby. It's episode 6, calm the fuck down. But they play the whole, it's directed like, oh, Toby's all mad sus or whatever. He's being mad, he's creepy. He's asking Emily like, hey, do you want to go to a quiet place so that way we can talk alone or whatever? Because yeah, I'm just being dark and mysterious because I may be the killer. Not really though. He's not actually, I don't think so. Well, actually I know that he's not because I'm on episode 13 right now, so I know that he's not. But Toby's acting mad sus. Emily gets scared. She trips, falls, and then cut the credits because that's the end of that episode. Because Emily got scared because she thought Toby was evil or what have you. Meanwhile, Hannah commit illegal crimes. Hannah, who is the poorest of the group, as well has more to lose. They're like, hey Hannah, how about you go risk your life, your future prospects, to go steal these files or whatever. But then again, technically Hannah's like the whitest of the group, so I guess like she can use her white lady powers to like obscure the law or whatever. And also her mom's kind of fucking a police officer, but apparently mother's not fucking him good enough because he still keeps sweating the girls. Hannah commits a crime. She steals she breaks HIPAA, steals Toby's little medical file for his like psych evaluations. Turns out he slept with Jenna. Yeah, they were doing the devil's tangle. They were bumping uglies in the night. We love a good non-biological incest plot line. We love that indeed. This is what confused me about it. The reason why, like, so the girls suspect that Toby was forcing himself upon Jenna, and that was the whole thing, because the thing in this case file says that like he's been sleeping with Jenna, but Allison found out and she swore that like she would basically tell his secret or whatever. She knew about that. And what I presumed was it's just like a mutual thing or whatever, but the girls suspect that it was him forcing himself upon Jenna. He was forcing them to have relations, but later on we learned that like it was more Jenna that was forcing herself upon him and whatnot, and he was kind of the victim in all of this. And at this point I don't know if I believe it or not, but it seems that to be the case. And also there's evidence pointing towards that because Jenna was like more worried about Toby after the fact. But before we get into it, let's go back to episode 7. After Emily fell and busted her shit, Toby drove her to the hospital, dropped her off, and just fled. He fled. He ran. Honestly, good man. He's trying to evade the cops. He did nothing wrong. He's just trying to get away from that shit. And And after that, I have to respect Emily because she had more than one brain cell. She started to like question the fact on whether or not Toby really did do it because, hypothetically speaking, it would be in Toby's best interest to get rid of Emily if he was truly like the culprit or the murderer or whatever. But she was like, but he dropped me off at a hospital. Like, that doesn't make any sense, right? But the girls are like dead set on like, no, Toby did it. Toby is the one who did it because we're stupid, and any new main character that shows up on the screen is the new that happens 2 other times, by the way, with people showing up. And meanwhile, my goofy ass is like, it's either like it's either a gay guy who's doing it or Mona. Those are my 2 culprits. Unknown gay guy that hasn't shown up yet, or Mona. Although Lucas is now showing up as a new contender, but I don't know, he feels red herring to me. A lot of these people feel like red herring. I feel like it's Mona because like no one has actually directly been like, hey, I suspect you of being a. Like, Mona is too close to the shit. No one's suspecting her. That's why I assume it's Mona, because literally every guy or gal who shows up last minute, the girls are like, maybe that could be A, maybe that could be. But meanwhile, Mona's just sitting there looking all, can't pull the wool over my eyes. So fast forward just a little bit, we get to Alice's memorial thing. The De Laurentiis made this ugly looking old water like fountain thing that looks god awful or whatever. They're like, yeah, this will be a memorial to Allison. They designated like a little spot or whatever. And like, I don't know, like, she was like the worst human being possible. I don't know why like, flowers should do. Like, I don't, when somebody's like a terrible human being and they die, I'm not saying spit on their grave, but also I'm not saying erect a several $1,000 like bench and statue taking up spot in the town or whatever. But don't worry, that ugly little water fountain gets destroyed, so good for that. Allison's brother comes back into town. His name is Jason. He is trying to get this memorial. He has guest speakers, and one of the guest speakers is Jenna. And Spencer is afraid Jenna is going to air it out. She is afraid that Jenna is just going to be like, hey, yo, them bitches flash bombed me. And guess what? Allison lied also. She told Jason that it was the girl's fault that Jenna is blind. The girls are the one who flash banged Jenna. That's why she's blind, not Allison. Allison's just a sweet little innocent girl. And it's funny, all this time, the girls were like, hey, we should get a chance to speak at the memorial because we know your sister better than even you do, which honestly, I think that's the case because Jason doesn't know that his sister is a conniving bitch and would lie on her friends and be like, hey, yo, I did nothing wrong. The girls are the one who did it. Like, come on, everybody in the town knows what timing Allison is on. I don't know why Jason was slow on the upkeep, but it is what it is. The memorial happens, and lo and behold, Smart House shows up. He's always going to be known as Smart House, or either Luck of the Irish. We're going to go with Smart House. Smart House shows up, aka Ian, Melissa's ex, just shows up out of nowhere, just like, hey, yo, I'm here. Guess what? I'm the new suspect now because I'm just a new person and it's time for you to suspect me. So yeah, Ian shows up, Smart House. We're going to call him Smart House from now on. Smart House shows up and the girls are suspect of him. They're wondering like, hey, yo, why is he here? What is he doing? Jenna gets up to speak and turns out she doesn't air out the business. She doesn't like say that, hey, yo, them bitches blind me. No, she was like, she kept it chill, which honestly, respect for Jenna, you know. Ironically, every character that's like not the main characters are pretty chill and pretty cool. But yeah, we'll talk about that later when I talk about other characters that I think did nothing wrong and you can't convince me otherwise. But the episode ends with like the terrible, ugly water fountain being destroyed. And yeah, that also transitioned into the next episode. Where Emily is just like, she's at home, she's all dirty and shit, and we're supposed to assume that she's the one who broke the water fountain. Yeah, they were laying down clues because basically we get more backstory about like the relationship between like Emily and Allison. Emily apparently had a crush on Allison. Allison rejected her, and in like the most savage way possible because like low-key Allison was gaslighting just a little bit. She was necking her on, be like, you want me, you want a piece of me. And then she pretended like she was kind of into it. And then she was like, nah, back off with that gay shit. And then like completely gaslit Emily, making her look stupid and everything, making her feel like they were actually in love. And then Emily tries to walk away. And then she's like, hey, Emily, you're my ride. You can't leave. So imagine being rejected, not only rejected, but like in the most disrespectful way possible. And then being like, you can't leave because, bitch, you drove me here. So all this is to like try to point at Emily as like possibly having a motive to kill Allison because of like her grudge or whatever, or grudge for being rejected. And we know this is all wrong because Detective Holden's dumbass shows up out of nowhere, just starts overly accusing Emily. So it's like, oh, you think she's the culprit? I definitely think Emily's not the culprit then. Okay, thank you for clearing that up for me, Detective Holden. Now see yourself out, because why are you still questioning these underage girls? Like, even if Emily confessed right then and there, that shit's totally admissible in court. So I don't even know what the fuck he's trying to do. But give it up for Detective Holden, ladies and gentlemen. Golf claps for him. So turns out Emily didn't break the ugly water fountain. It was already broken. She was just there after after it happened. Again, pretty much assumed that to be the case, but blah 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 blah. We moving on. Also, this weird scene lives rent free in my head for some reason. So the setting is that it's a storm that's over the town, and they're all like locked down in the school or whatever. Spencer's mom is there. She asks Arya to like, hey, can you go give me that granola bar? Arya offers to go get the granola bar for her, goes grab it. She never gives her the granola bar. She goes and starts talking to Emily. She grabs a granola. She's like, Miss Hastings, I'll get that for you. Grabs a granola bar and then immediately talks to Spencer. Miss Hastings never gets that granola bar. She never gets it. And that's a weird scene and I don't like it. That just lives rent free in my head. There's just weird dumb stuff that happens in this show and it's kind of hilarious and I love it. Speaking of dumb stuff, Mona's party. So we're going to fast forward over to Mona's party. Mona's throwing a little party because she's like rich and whatever. So so they're doing this weird glamp party or whatever. I don't get the point of glamping or whatever. Like, it's just camping with extra steps and more money. I don't like it. So they have a party going on, right? She's inviting, like, of course, the core four: Spencer, Hannah, Arya, and Emily. They're of course invited or what have you. And yet Ace spreads this like weird rumor that like Hannah was on Ozempic or whatever the fuck. She got liposuction, and like weirdly Mona's upset about it because she did it the hard way. And I'm like, bitch, calm down, relax, it's not that serious. So she uninvites Hannah, or she's just like demoted as like top tier friend. She's now bottom tier friend, and it's just like, bitch, I could just choke the shit out of you. Fuck doing it the hard way. Always do it the easy way. I'm with if Hannah got the suck, I'm all for that. If that's what you need to do to get rid of the weight, that's proud on you. But of course it was a lie or what have you. I'm not sure why A did that. I get like just to be extra spicy, I guess, before the party, because she tells the girls to go to the party because there's going to be a little surprise there. The surprise is we get a twofer there. We get a tree with the name carved of like Ian, aka Smart House, and Allison, so it indicates that Allison and Smart House were together. Also, we get a little bit of glimpse of A was there. Ezra and Arya were smooching in the car for some reason. They were smooching in a car. Hannah sees it, so now the friend group knows that this illicit activity is happening. Also, Noel Khan. We need to talk about Noel Khan. His name is stupid, but we're going to talk about him anyway. I was getting excited about this character because it was a potential like love interest to remove Arya away from the child predator. But no, we're still going to focus on that. But Noel Khan is just like this guy that Arya had a crush on. He's now into her. and they're kind of like talking. There's a little flirty flirt going on, and also Ezra and Arya are kind of out on the outs because kind of being wishy-washy on whether or not he wants to be a full-time groomer or only a part-time. He's still deciding that, and they're kind of like off and on. So Arya takes a little bit interest in Noel Khan. There was a little bit of a double date between him and Hannah's boyfriend. The vibes were there or whatever, but the show really wants you to love Arya and Ezra. Arzia. What's the coupling name for Arya and Ezra? It's Arya. Actually, Arya's the couple name. But okay, the two things that we learned, Noel Khan was there at Mona's glamping thing. Even though he wasn't invited, only the girls were really invited. Noel Khan was there looking mad suspect, just chilling in the corner next to a tree like this. Clearly it's a red herring or whatever because he looks a little bit too suspect or whatever, but he's there. They're suspect about why he was there for no reason. So now new guy shows up. He is A. That's how we're doing it, ladies and gentlemen. First it was Toby, smart house, Noel Khan, smart house again. Can't wait for another person to show up in the town and they're going to suspect them of being A. At this glamping trip, we learned a lot of stuff. Arya's little romantic entanglement got discovered. We saw a glimpse of A, and also the tree of Allison and Ian forever. Smart house 5 ever together carved into a tree. When Hannah ran to report saying that she saw A, she got hit by a car. So that transitions into the next following episodes where Hannah is in a wheelchair or Hannah is also in the hospital. The important thing that happens in this episode, we learned that Lucas has like major feelings for Hannah, which sucks because she's not into him like that. And then like that's when Lucas gets in his incel bag and he's like, hey, yo, all these females are all the same. All these females, they lead me on. He didn't go that hard, but I mean, like, it was kind of borderline there. And I hated that because I can see myself in him. So just like, I can see 14-year-old Yanni in him. But yeah, I saw myself in him for a second. I was just like, oh, this is cringe. But also, we see Allison vision or what have you, which leads me to believe that Allison is alive. And for one reason and one reason only, she mentions that she risked coming here or whatever. And if she is a ghostly spectral vision, I don't know what she means by she risked to come here. Maybe it's because she slipped past the gates of hell and like Lucifer is looking for her, so she has to evade the demons before they drag her back to hell. So she's like, it's dangerous for me to be here. The demons are after me. I came here to tell you this message, that to not trust anybody and to look closer or what have you. She basically gave them no information whatsoever, but still, we had a little bit of Allison. We had an Allison vision that Hannah had while she was sleeping. And then on her cast, when she woke up was a message from A on her cast, which again is like one of the most disrespectful things ever. Like that feels like a violation. This feels like assault. A assaulted her while she was asleep. Also, Lucas did too. We gotta talk about that. I'm gonna let it slide because Hannah didn't make a big deal of it, so I'm not going to make a big deal about it. But hey, if you are a guy and a girl or you're both, if somebody's asleep, don't kiss them unless they're like your significant other. I mean, like your deep significant other. I'm talking about like boyfriend, girlfriend status. I'm talking about like husband and wife, not like random hookup or what have you. Don't kiss people. Don't kiss people that you barely know while they're asleep. How about that? Let's not do that. But anyway, next episode, Hannah's still in the cast. She decides to throw a party. Also, Hannah's mom just committed a crime. She stole from an old lady because they're struggling. So Hannah's mom just stole a bag from a lady, like I want to say like a thou wow. She stole like a lot of money from her, and then she hid it in like a spaghetti box. And then Hannah's dumbass threw a party. It was just like, yeah, and mind you, Hannah knew that something was up, and it's just like she knew that there was money in the spaghetti box. and that like people shouldn't touch it or what have you. But like her goofy ass threw the party anyway. And so there's money in the spaghetti box. She's over there constantly looking at the spaghetti box, like, for the love of God, please don't anybody touch the spaghetti box. But Incel Lucas shows up and he's like disruptive as fuck or whatever. But honestly, kind of in his bag because I don't like Hannah's cornball boyfriend. So anytime I can see Lucas own him, I'm 100% fine with that. Hannah talks with Lucas being like, hey, yo, this can never be a thing, you homie. We can never be together. And he's like, but I'm the nice guy. Well, he didn't do all that. He's just like, yeah, but I like you though. And it sucks that I like you because I don't think I can just be friends with you when I like you. So he just kind of like exits or what have you. We don't know if he exited the story or if he's going to come back later. But yeah, they had that conversation again away from the spaghetti box. The spaghetti box is unattended. A is taking the money as we speak right now. Her cornball boyfriend shows up and be like, man, Hannah, why are you talking to that fucking F slur? Like, he didn't say that, but like, I could feel if this show was 10 years older than what it was, he would have dropped the hard F-bomb because like that's kind of the energy he was giving. I'm sorry. It's giving homophobia. It's giving insecure white male. I don't know. It's giving a lot of stuff. I hate her cornball boyfriend. He has no aura, no presence, but yet he still occupies my screen. I don't want him here. I can't wait till he disappears. But if you say he's in all 7 seasons, I will fucking drop this show. So they kind of have a little argument because Hannah's like, hey, yo, Lucas is kind of cool. I like him as a friend or whatever. I want him to stick around. And then her boyfriend's just being mad and insecure, just be like, oh, but Hannah. Meanwhile, this motherfucker even want to have sex with her, but like he's still like very like possessive of her. I don't like that. I don't like that. Not saying you should be, not saying if you don't want to have sex, you should have sex with somebody, but I'm just saying, bro, one minute he's just like, get off me, Hannah, and the next minute he just be like, you're not showing me enough support and affection or whatever. You're just constantly ignoring me. And also he did this weird cornball shit where because Hannah like left to go get the files or whatever from the office or whatever during homecoming. She was like gone of all of like 20 to 30 minutes. He couldn't sit his ass still or whatever. Arya kept him company or whatever. And then he pulled a cornball move where the next morning he sent her flowers and be like, ooh, thank you for the nice time. And then Arya clocked that shit. She was like, oh, Negro, if you don't stop. Well, I mean, she didn't say that. Like, that would have been a problem if she said that. But she was like, bitch, if you don't stop playing around, Hannah loves you. She fucks with you the long way. And you over here pulling some cornball shit. Over here being like, oh, Arya, here goes some flowers, my dear lady, because you were good last night or whatever the fuck. Like, get this cornball out of here anyway. I'm sorry. I hate him way too much, but he just provides nothing for the plot. Like, he's even worse than fucking Spencer's boy toy because it's just like, at least he's inoffensively not doing anything. Meanwhile, this motherfucker's not doing anything and just being annoying at the same time. And then Ezra, I just forget that he exists. So like that's a weight off my shoulder. But also around during this time, Smart House is back, right? He's back into everybody's life. And like he's been gone for a while or whatever. Like Melissa and him they were done. There was no like form of communication. He just shows up out of nowhere, and then Melissa is just like, hey yo, me and Smart House are getting married or whatever. Meanwhile, she was also just recently engaged to the British guy like almost a few weeks ago, but now Smart House comes back in the picture she is all over him and wants to marry him. She wants to get part of that Smart House fortune. She wants to live in the Smart House with him. And honestly, low-key, I would marry Smart House if I get to live in the Smart House. So I guess like that's why she was so quick and eager to marry him or whatever. And it's mad suspect because he comes back immediately. They're engaged immediately. And also we learned that like Allison and him like had a thing and they were like away together. So it's also like kind of suspect as well. And then A is like also like chipping in. And that's why like I kind of separate A away from like the A mystery, away from the like the murder of Allison, because it seems like A knows who murdered Allison and like what's going on with that, but they're not involved in it because why like give these breadcrumbs and clues? That's why I think it's like someone within the friend circle because it's just a way to like sort of, it's kind of like Telltale Heart, where it's just like he is accumulating guilt and throwing it at the girls, so like hopefully one of them confesses that like they killed Allison or what have you. At least that's what I also think. But I also think that Mona is A, and she knows like one of the girls killed Allison and they're trying to get her to fess up. And if I were to say A is Mona, I would also say that the culprit for who killed Allison is most likely Spencer. Or it could be Arya, because Arya needs something interesting going on other than being groomed. I'm sorry, she needs more of a plot. So if Arya is the one who killed Allison, that would be dope. That would be good for her. That would be good for her story. But like Spencer has like motion. She is a character that has like personality. She has aura. She's doing shit or what have you. So I wouldn't mind if she turned out to be the person who killed Allison. And that's why she's so eager to find out who A is, because A is like trying to uncover and expose this, and it would kind of be like a good subversion of expectations. But then again, I heard that the last 2 seasons of Pretty Little Liars twists were god awful and terrible, so I'm assuming none of this is true and all these theories are out the window. So as I said, A is giving them breadcrumbs and hints that like, hey yo, it's kind of weird that Ian is like, it's kind of weird that Smart House is trying to marry Melissa like almost immediately, huh? That's kind of weird, isn't it? And the girls are like, yeah, that is kind of weird. Maybe he is A. So the man is trying to expose himself for killing Allison and also trying to expose himself as A. Again, that's what I'm saying. It's two different things. It's two different things. And that's why I think Spencer is like so gung-ho on like putting both things on on the culprit, like them being A and also them killing Allison, because I think maybe she did it. But again, these are theories, you guys. So later on, the girls receive a video. So this video was, of course, shown a while ago. The police officers or the FBI agents had this video. It was a video of Allison basically talking to a guy in the background. We didn't get to see the guy, but the only evidence that we got from that video is that she was talking to a guy. This was like the last time we saw her, because she was like wearing the clothes that she was in the last time that the girls saw her, but also she was wearing a jacket. She was wearing Toby's jacket. Oh yeah, ladies and gentlemen, Toby's back in town or whatever. He came back in town to tell Emily it's a big mix up. I didn't do anything. The jitta and I thing was mutual. No, she was doing more of the forcefulness less than I was. I didn't force her to do anything. And if you could just like wait for me and hear me out, I can clear this all up. Emily snitched on him. The cops packed him up, and like now he's like number one suspect for murder. And that's because, as I said, the tape that they had with Allison on the last night we've seen her, she was wearing Toby's jacket. Now Toby says that she was wearing a jacket is because she met with him before she left, and he gave her his jacket because she was cold. Basically, it was just like another conversation about her holding the information over him about him sleeping with Jenna. Also, we learned that Jenna lied and said that like she will lie to her parents and to the police that like you were the one who forced it if we stopped this relationship. So Jenna was being the manipulator in that situation. Again, we're taking his word for it for that. So that's what Toby's doing. Toby's on house arrest. He is like suspect numero uno, but we have Ian here. So the video initially that the policemen have is only like half of it, because they only have it where they're talking, where Allison is talking to a guy behind the camera. They suspect it being Toby because she has Toby's jacket. But then later on, it's revealed towards episode 13, the last episode that I have watched as of right now, it is revealed that Ian was the one that's behind the camera. And what ends up happening is Allison falls to the ground, looks like she's dead, and then a camera swivels. Oh my God, it's Smart House. Smart House is the killer, right? I don't think so. Mostly because it is episode 13 of a 22 episode show of approximately of 6-7 seasons or what have you. So I don't think he did it. But also, I don't know if like the death of Allison, finding out the murderer of Allison is necessarily the end game for Pretty Little Liars, or if finding out who A is the end game of Pretty Little Liars, because I don't know either. I don't know who A is, and I don't know who killed Allison. So we could find out Allison was killed by Ian like the next episode, and it's concrete, set in stone, but A is still around here trying to expose people of their secrets. Or maybe someone was also with Ian, I don't know, instigate the murder. I don't know. I'm excited to get more into it. Again, we're only like halfway through. This is technically, I guess, the mid-season stinger. I'm going to do this. I'm going to, well, recording-wise, I'm going to break it up where I tackle the first 13 episodes, and then I tackle the remaining episodes of the season, because normally there's like a mid-season like stinger that holds you off for like a month until they come back, and then they're like, okay, want to continue the story or what have you. And also the reason being is because when I marathon these videos or when I watch them, it's normally like a once a week type of thing. So I try to get through like 13 episodes within a week. So that way I can have this done within the month. So hopefully we can get these videos out faster than probably most content creators do. I want to try it. I don't know, but this is also an intermission. If you haven't already, be sure to go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Also, we got other shows that we are going to be doing this type of thing. Again, check out the Patreon so that way you guys can watch along with me or watch me watch this. I'm going to have like discussions or like side tangent notes or whatever while I'm watching it, and I may even open it up to have a Discord where you guys that are Pretty Little Liars fans can join, and we can do live movie nights where we watch Pretty Little Liars. Head over down to the Patreon and you can go ahead and do that, or just subscribe. Subscribing helps out a great deal. But let's get onward to the next half, and there's going to be a board here. There's going to be evidence board here, I promise. Hey, welcome back. Hey, how was that? How did past Yanni break down the events that unfolded in episodes 1 through 13? Was he accurate? Was he correct? Whatever. Anyway, this is your time to remind you to hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. But we're about to break down this evidence board, because my evidence board is not like other people's evidence board, because there's a lot of assuming, there's a lot of speculation and stuff, and there's just a lot of unnecessary shit in Pretty Little Liars where it's just like, I don't believe a single word that any of these people are saying. And yeah, I don't include like red herring people that I feel like are only going to show up for a few episodes. For example, Spencer's little boyfriend, her little country club boyfriend, not on this board, because I highly doubt that he's going to be a long-running character in the series. But I don't know, maybe I could be lying. He could be in the series permanently. I don't know, but he's so boring, and he doesn't have any secrets. I think the people with the biggest secrets are going to stick around too. And also we got Officer Carl over here. I know that's not his name, but Passiani broke it down. This guy is going to remain on the board until the end of the series. I don't care. He's here. He's here to stay. All right, so why don't we get in closer and show you what's going on with this board. All right, so we have it broken down here in sections. I think it's just easier for me to do it this way and to connect certain people. So we're going to break it down what's going on so far with episodes 1 through 13. All right, so let's get it. We don't know who A is. I have suspects, but I don't know who exactly A is. This is the sus area right here. This is where all the sussy people go. As I said, number one suspect, Mona, she was a nerdy girl and stuff before, but she took off her glasses and now she's hot. Look how hot this girl is. And sorry if these images look terrible. For some reason, my printer is really heavy on like the red. So everybody's just overexposed and red as fuck. Don't know what's going on. But yeah, you can already tell this is going to be a bootleg commentary video, but it's fine. We're going to break everything down. As I said, Mona's kind of sus because, yeah, she, I don't know, she fits the vibe of what A is. Very, very sassy, serving cunt a lot. And guess who else serves cunt? This girl right here. And also, like, as I said, it's either like a high school girl or it's like a gay guy. Lucas is kind of sassy. He's a little sassy, but he's straight. He's straight for Hannah though. So before we even break down who A is, what these sections are, What are these strings linking up people together? All right, so we got orange. Orange means that they're connected via their platonic friends. They're part of a friend group. Technically, they all know each other, so to speak, in a sense. But it's just like they have, they're considered friends. They're on a friendly level with them because each of these girls, even though they're the main friend group, they have their outer friend group that they refer to, except for Arya. She's really tied down to Ezra, and that's very unfortunate for her. She had a little thing with homeboy over here, but we'll talk about that in just a sec. Well, you guys already know I broke that down for y'all already. All right, orange connects friends, so that means that they're friendly. They have a second tier of friendship with each one of these girls. Pink means that there's a little bit of an entanglement going on. They are together, so to speak. I mentioned entanglement because fucking Walden and Hannah's mom, I'm pretty sure he's just fucking her. Like, I dead ass don't think like he's going to become stepdaddy to Hannah. We also have Hannah tangent. Also have Hannah here. I found this weird picture of fat Hannah, and she's dressed like Steven Universe for some reason. I'm gonna throw up the image right here because this is not a clear image of what this is, but she literally is cosplaying Steven Universe over here for some reason. I don't know. Rebecca Sugar, you took heavy inspiration from Hannah from Pretty Little Liars, specifically Fat Hannah. Don't know. But anyway, moving on from pink string. Pink string means entanglement. Who has the entanglements? Arya, Ezra, very illegal entanglement. Walden and fucking Hannah's mom. Weird ass entanglement. Also, his name is Wilden. I thought his name was Holden because there's another detective. Because while I was looking up list of names for these characters, there's apparently another detective that shows up. I'm assuming later because we haven't seen him yet. I thought it was because I printed out two pictures. One was this guy right here. His name is His name is literally Wilden because that's what he do this entire season. And then you have, I think, Holbrook or whatever the fuck, Detective Holbrook, and another white guy. And when I had like just a stack of things to print out, I confused him with the other white guy, and I was very confused, wondering who the other white guy is. So, spoiler alert, I guess we're going to meet another white detective. I don't know. Does that mean he's A? Probably not. But Walden has a weird ass name, and I combined Holden and I combined Holbrook and Walden together to come up with Holden. So if you see me talk about Holden, that's right. Oh yeah, there's supposed to be a pink between Jenna and Toby because Jenna was like kind of having illegal relationships with her stepbrother. I don't know. I think it's illegal. It's very much illegal. But like those two, but it's not really an entanglement. It was kind of a forceful thing. So we're not going to do that. Emily and Maya, they have a little entanglement going on right now. The first LGBTQ entanglement. We're proud of her for that. As I said, Arya and Noel had a entanglement, but it was resolved in like a half episode. They were seeing each other. There's no pink string for you. Melissa and Smart House, aka Ian. Melissa and Smart House, aka Ian, they have an entanglement together. Almost immediately, they're getting engaged for some reason. Don't know what that's about. I have an entanglement with Officer Carl. Lucas wants an entanglement with Hannah, but that's not going. That's why they're on orange. And then you have the blue. What is the light blue? The light blue represents familial ties and connection. All right, so Hannah connected with Hannah's mom. I didn't put names under them because I couldn't be bothered to remember their names. It is what it is. I'm going to refer to them as Blank's mother because I'm assuming they're not going to show up too much. Except for Hannah's mom. Hannah's mom has like a plot line of like her stealing money for some reason. But anyway, Hannah and Hannah's mom. Emily and her mother. I'm not putting her father up there because I refuse to believe that he's in more than 2 episodes. Arya and her parents. Dad kind of has a storyline going. Well, their storyline is that they're on the outs. They're in the middle of breaking up because like this man right here is cheating a lot. Spencer, her parents right here, the Hastings, barely know anything about the father. The mother, she's a lawyer. I think they're both lawyers. That's cool. Also, which is connected to Melissa. Boom, Melissa right here. She is Spencer's older sister, also connected by Blue. You see, pretty easy. Oh yeah, we got Allison and her brother Jason. I don't know if he's going to show up for more than one episode, but so far he was only in one episode that I've seen so far. So I decided to link those two together, even though Allison is dead. I should get like a skull sticker to put over dead people. Any more dead people on the board? All right, so we have pink being entanglements, blue being family ties, orange being friendly ties. What is red? And most of it's connected to Allison. These are the ties to Allison's. This is Allison's dirty little secrets. And this is important because it may suss out who possibly killed Allison. Again, I think who A is separate from who killed Allison. Because it feels like A wants to figure out who the hell killed Allison for some reason. And as I said, my primary suspect is Spencer, because she's the only one with 2 brain cells on the liars, and I believe one of the liars is the ones who killed Allison. So that is my going theory, but again, it's just a game theory. So red are all the secrets or all the like terrible things she's done to other people. So Allison used to bully the fuck out of Mono, like unnecessarily. Like they're both of equal attractiveness from what I've seen. Like I don't know why she is better than her, but I guess, I don't know, kind of racist. I don't know. But like Mona, because Mona was ugly because she had glasses. That's why she bullied her, because she was ugly because she had glasses. She bullied Lucas and was not being an ally. She called him Hermie, aka for hermaphrodite. Yeah, that was probably the meanest insult ever. I don't know why she was saying that to him. But yeah, he could have possibly killed her because of her bullying him. And again, he's kind of sassy. He may be A, but I don't know. Okay, another red line is Smart House. I would have put entanglement, but I think it's more of a red line because she was dating, or he was dating Melissa at the time that she was seeing him. So I'm assuming that like, my theories is that she was wanting to tell about the relationship and this would be no good, so he could have possibly potentially killed her. And also, where we last left off, there was a video of Smart House with Allison. So there's that. Another red line. Arya's parents. Not sure if it's worth killing her over. Actually, because it seems like the secret's out now, and it's not really that much of a big deal or whatever. Yeah, this guy. This man who gets around a lot is cheating, and Allison knew, and she was blackmailing him for it. But also Arya knew about him cheating, so like, yeah, I don't know. Say Allison, Miss De Laurentiis, had a secret on Toby that Toby was fucking Jenna, or the other way around. But yeah, those two were fucking. She knew that secret. And he had 9/11 free at last, or 901 free at last. He's also handsome Squidward. That's why I refer to him sometimes. Because honestly, resemblance is kind of uncanny. But yeah, she had a secret on him, but I don't think he did anything. But still, she had a secret on him that was pretty dire. Also, Allison flashbang Jenna. She don't see no more. She can't see. Apparently it was a stink bomb. That can happen. So be careful, kids. Don't mess with stink bombs, I guess. They blew her shit up and she can't see no more. So that's like a good reason for her to hate her, as well as like she ruined her sneaky link with Toby because she also was blackmailing Toby that she will spill the secrets or whatever. So she lost a sneaky link. And she got flashbanged, and now she can't see no more. So, red line connected. So yeah, this is the board, the evidence board right now. We will refer to it as time goes on. But yeah, we're going to continue watching the remainder of the episodes for season 1 for Pretty Little Liars, and we may be adding new people to the board, or we may be adding new strings and connections to people. Also, Arya has a brother. I'm not putting him on the board because he hasn't had anything relevant happen. So the moment something relevant happens with her brother, I will put his ass on the board. But for right now, he's just like a set piece character. There's a lot of other characters that are introduced, but I don't really feel necessary to put on the board, such as Hannah's cornball boyfriend. Not putting his ass on the board. Not putting his sneaky link. I'm not putting Meredith on the board because I don't think she has a story. She's going to have a story. Oh yeah, Walden is just over here. I don't know how his story is going to play out or whatever, and I don't know his like true connection to everything. For right now, the only thing he has going on is fucking Hannah. I'm gonna call her Hannah Montana's. Hannah's mom is the only thing he's concerned about right now, and also grilling every single girl super hard for no reason. And yeah, that's all he's there for. Same with Ezra. He doesn't really have much going on with him other than being a PDF file. So there's that. Here's how the quadrants are broken up. We got the liars. That's apparently what they're called according to the Wikipedia. They're the liars, the pretty little liars. I'm just going to call them the liars because they lie a lot. Who is A? We don't know. A's right here. They did a lot of shit. Allison, dead right here. This is my suspect. This is the suspect. This is the sus side of things. These are people that I think are suspicious, or at least the show wants us to think they're suspicious. They want us to think Noel is suspicious, but he's not. He's actually the most noble character ever. He saw something, he said something. Well, I mean, he tried to mutually benefit from it, but like at the end he did tell, or try to tell, that a teacher was dating a student or whatever. I respect his hustle. I respect his grind or whatever. But Noel is the hero of the story for so far. I don't know. He could be a sex offender for all we know in the future. I don't know. He gives that kind of energy. That I feel like that could be an angle they take this character in the future. Like overly attractive cis white guy is like either there to be like a red herring or either there to be very problematic. Who knows? But like so far, Noel is in my good graces right now because he ain't done nothing wrong. And then I have this quadrant. This quadrant may change because I put older kids because it feels like this Melissa, Jason, and Ian all hung out together in high school. And it seems like they have their own individual secrets as well. And I'm not sure if more are going to show up. I'm not sure if Arya has any older brothers or sisters. Or it seems like Emily's the only child. Same with Hannah. So I don't know if they're going to introduce like more older siblings or more older people concerning Allison, because Allison was getting around. She was like with everybody, so, or she at least knew everybody's secrets. So like, yeah, more stuff could be revealed on this side of things. Parents are right here. Again, this section may be overtaken by other stuff because I don't feel like the parents are going to last too long, especially in teen dramas. They usually start getting phased out by like season 3 or 4 when they go to college. Side characters that I don't know where to place, and I don't necessarily think they did anything. I think it's too on the nose that they want Jenna to be like a suspect or what have you. She may be A, but like, I don't know. She just hasn't really done much. Yeah, the only thing Jenna really does is just sit there and be creepy and blind and stuff. So yeah, that's what we got so far. Yeah, this has been the halfway point. Let's continue watching some more episodes and see what happens next on Pretty Little Liars.
Plays only Tuesdays all summer long. And this Tuesday, join the crowds of fans who can't stop watching.
So it's like, I don't know, 6 months later. I'm sorry. It's been a while. It's been a minute. My bad. I'm sorry. All right, so now it's time to catch up on the second half of course, Pretty Little Liars. And a lot happens in this later half, but also a lot of stuff don't happen. I still severely dislike the Arya plot line, so there's that. So In order to organize things a lot better, I'm going to be breaking it down into segments, and yeah, we're going to be focusing on specific couples, specific like story moments, and that's how we're going to be doing it instead of breaking it down episode by episode. Because this video is already damn near 2 hours long, and I felt like I haven't really shown much. Also, again, be sure to go ahead and join the Patreon if you guys want to watch me watch this live for the first time. You guys are also welcome to go ahead and do that. I'm basically just watching the show as normal over there on Patreon. We're going to be starting season 2 relatively soon, as well as another show that I'm going to be doing a commentary on, which is hopefully you guys are ready for it. It is Lost. We're going to get lost together. Check that out over on the Patreon. And also I'm going to be reading the Pretty Little Liars book to do some comparisons. And there's going to be like a short little video of me talking about and reviewing the first Pretty Little Liars book. So go ahead and check that out. I highly suggest you go ahead and do that over on the Patreon. And also it helps me basically keep the show alive, because I don't know, I'm finding this shit interesting, and like I kind of want to continue on with this. Share this with your friends, grab some popcorn, let's continue part 2. Okay, all of these are the events leading up to the season finale of Pretty Little Liars, and we are going to kind of go through it chronologically. I'm going to be jumping around, but to organize it, we're going to be starting with group or couples. And to start, we have to introduce a new person, which is Caleb. So we're going to be talking about Caleb and Hannah, aka Canna. Give me that can of ship. And also in the comment section down below, let me know what is your favorite ship of Pretty Little Liars as far as season 1 goes. Don't spoil shit, please. All right, so we got this new kid, Caleb. He's sort of like this bad boy, angsty type. He ain't got no parents. He's like a foster kid. He's just living like recluse on his own in the school. But we find out how a little bit later we meet Caleb because essentially the girls need some hacking done. They need to figure out what is going on. They need to basically jailbreak a phone, and it's funny because it's just like so early, like 2010s of like not realizing how to like talk about technology. It's just like so old and dated. It's funny. Yeah, you fucking narc doing that shit in public. It's just a jailbroken phone. But Caleb's a hacker, apparently, so he'd be hacking shit. But before the encounter with Hannah, but before he even gets involved with Hannah and shit, there's a titular moment that happens, the prom, or it's a dance. There's like multiple dances in these shows. Like there's like 80 different dances a year. And I guess like it's not necessarily 100% off for high schools to have this many dances. The more well-funded your school is, the more like little social events and gatherings happen. The more stacked your PTA is, the more stacked your boosters are, the more events that you have. I know for my school we had a decent amount because I went to a private school, and there was a decent amount of funding. So we had like I want to say like 4 dances in a school year, and like 5 different like event things where school was canceled or there was something happening outside of school. There was like a little festival outside of school. So it's not far off, but like for most people's schooling experience, they're having way too many damn dances. This is one of them. Way too many damn dances. During this time, you guys all remember A is playing a game of Saw with Hannah right now. First, they had her gobbling down cupcakes and shit. Now she is threatened to like expose Hannah's mom if she doesn't like dance with Lucas. And then immediately I was just like, okay, now Lucas is A, because it's just like, why this specifically? But seeing what happened is just like you're turning him into a cuck. Like you're getting his hopes up for no reason. So I kind of understand Lucas is probably not A, but I'm just saying it's just a very funny coincidence that constantly, because it was just like, it wasn't like doing different. A wasn't messaging Hannah to do different stupid shit throughout the prom or whatever, or throughout the dance. I'm going to stop calling it prom. But throughout the dance, he just kept on saying like, Hannah, Lucas seems a little bit lonely. Why don't you go hang out with him? Why don't you go play with him for a little bit? Meanwhile, her boyfriend's sitting over there like, well, my girlfriend is like hanging out with this nerd or whatever. But yeah, I understand that. Also, any excuse to get like Hannah away from her cornball boyfriend is like a A+ episode to me. So yeah, during that episode, A was gaslighting Hannah to basically ditch her boyfriend, hang out with Lucas, eventually to kiss him on the fucking mouth. And yeah, that's going a little bit too far, A. And then I was just like, yeah, A, aka Lucas, There's an A in Lucas, a big A in Luke ass. $200 dance with Lucas? Nah, Lucas is A, bro. Lucas is A. Nah. Also, more Hannah leading up to the finale. More Hannah stuff. I love me some Hannah like shenanigans because yeah, she's just a little girl and she's just trying to figure things out in the worst way possible. A again is still playing a game with Hannah. Really just loves to troll Hannah. For some reason, not Arya. Arya is doing like the most illegal shit. My new theory is like now is not Mona or Lucas. I think A is Ezra. There's an A in Ezra. He's gonna get talented. Would y'all hate me if I skip this? Because like, why aren't you snitching? Like at this point, why aren't you snitching that like Arya is seeing a grown ass man that's her teacher? Like I would have been let that out the closet, or at least been a little bit more hardcore on Arya. But like meanwhile, Arya ain't getting no pressure from A except this time because A pressured Hannah to go snitch to Arya's mom about Ezra and Arya going together on this like little art date. So there's that. So I mean, I guess the pressure is on finally after 20 years, but still it's a little bit too late, A, for your past mistakes. I still believe you're Ezra. Just because I hate him, and it'll be funny if like both my most hated. I don't know. I think I kind of like A, honestly, low key. I was about to say it would be funny if two of my most hated characters were the same person, but I think I kind of like A. A is serving cunt, and like we love that for them. Her, she, it, they, him, Lucas. I'm sorry. Anyway, Hannah goes through with it, but not really because like Hannah's a good person. She's just a little girl who's just like confused and don't know what to do. Her mom's in trouble because her mom is a stupid idiot that stole from an old rich lady. But Caleb helps Hannah out by essentially stalling out Arya's mom by taking out like a spark plug or whatever the fuck, because you can just do that and then it keeps the car from working. But by doing this, Arya's dad helps Arya's mom out, and a little thing happens, like a little spark. But we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that when we talk about Arya's little situation going on. But anyway, this allows Caleb and Hannah to get a little bit closer together. The Hannah relationship is going to be well and thriving.
Like something you scrape off your shoe? At least since our shower.
Look.
Dang, if that was the case, I feel like, damn, is my schmeat small? I'm sorry, that's the typical male response, but I'm sorry. So later on, Hannah is still having problems with A trying to expose shit. And then like one of the end credit scenes, no, this is afterwards, rewinded back. It is found out that the money that Hannah's mom stole from the old lady is dead, Mrs. Potter. Harry's mom is dead in this universe too. So Miss Potter's dead. Hannah's mom is off the hook, but I don't know, some sort of like attorney would like be held responsible for that and would notice several $1,000s missing, but it is what it is. Everything's in the clear, everything's all good. And then there's like a post-credit scene like showing A, or at least what we think to be A, in front of the grave of Mrs. Potter. You assume like, did A clap Mrs. Potter because in order to like hold something over Hannah's mom or something, or like to sort of frame it that she killed Mrs. Potter because she stole the money. It's a weird implication, but nevertheless, that happened. And during this time, Hannah and Caleb, of course, getting close. We discovered that Caleb is living in the school because he ain't got nowhere to go because his parents are gone. And he's in the foster care system, and the foster care system sucks. So he's living basically in the school. It's this hilarious moment because they think that like A is in the school. I think A's in the school as well, or they thought he was, or what have you. But like, yeah, they thought A was in the school, and then they got jump scared, of course, and it's just Caleb. Hannah offers to let Caleb stay with her secretly at first. Hannah's mom, of course, eventually finds out. Hannah's mom didn't really trust Caleb at first, but something interesting happens where they grow a little bit closer together because this weird this side plot existed solely just so Hannah's mom and Caleb can be cool with each other. Because essentially what happens is that so Mrs. Potter's dead, of course, and then her next of kin comes back and just like, hey, yo, I want that money. I want that shmunyan that my auntie has. And then Hannah's mom, like, it's not really that much left. And then, like, shows him the bank account and the account or everything that she had left in her account. He was like, nah, there should be a little bit more money in here. And then A is kind of suspicious because, like, how the fuck you know how much your dead aunt has in her account to know that, like, what is in here isn't the amount that should be in here. Anyway, that's strike number one. Basically, Hannah's mom attempts to try to honeypot and be like, hey, come over to dinner. We can discuss this or whatever. But, like, if this was me in my situation, my mother, auntie, whatever, died, and, like, there's money missing, and then this bitch over here talking about come to dinner, I'm like, I am snitching immediately because you're trying to, I know what you're trying to do, and we're not doing that. We're not doing that today. Nuh-uh. Although Hannah's mom is kind of bad, so maybe I would buckle underneath the pressure. Who knows? She learned from Walden that, like, sometimes giving up the pussy doesn't really help the situation that much. He was just as much suspicious of Hannah after Hannah's mom giving up the cheek. So let's just say Hannah's mom apparently doesn't have it like that. I'm just joking, y'all. That's mean. I'm sorry. Hannah's mom could trick me into believing that there's no money in the account. Shout out to Hannah's mom. But anyway, dude comes over for dinner. Caleb is suspicious, like, hey, yo, this dude who's saying that, like, he's an architect or whatever, he don't know what the fuck he talking about. He's lying and stuff. And then Hannah's mom, like, okay, all right, bet. She comes over there. She shows him what's in the account. She's like, yeah, this is it. You're going to take what you get, or I'm about to snitch that you're trying to commit bank fraud. And he's like, all right, I got you. I see your game, Mrs. Marin, that's Hannah's last name. Hannah Marin. Give me a cookie because I remember that shit. He backs away, and then Hannah's mom is off scot-free. I think that is it. I don't know. It seems very suspicious because it feels like he's going to come back, like in season 2. So far, I can tell you as of right now, he doesn't come into play at all later this season at all. Like, legitimately, he's not in there. So because Hannah's mom now accepts Caleb because Caleb did her a solid by pointing out that fact that he's suspicious, Hannah's mom essentially let Caleb stay, like, actually. And then, of course, Hannah and Caleb grow more closer. They go out in a tent and they fuck in the tent outside. That's awesome.
Play dumb, and the dumb girls spend their days trying to be all of the above.
How much will it cost to make you forget that you walked in here?
That's a line that was written. Yo, this dude is a grifter, and I kind of like that for him. So this gives a clue that he doesn't have the laptop because he doesn't know. Spencer, you're the victim here. You can, like, literally just snitch.
Photoshop, like,
Yeah, you gaslight me?
I'll tell you what.
He's saying this is AI.
Hired a PI.
Sora AI made this. Okay, want to help get money, show Arya's mom. Oh, that's...
It's possible. If they were, maybe this foreigner could
You
tell
can make them.
the Allison bracelet.
Yo, these girls be grasping at straws. Any little bit of information, they're like, maybe they know.
Want her to get away with it. Well, I can stand up for myself. What you never did with Allison.
You should have told her. Or slapped the shit out of Paige. Those are the only two options you have.
Thank you for making sure my
Either rat them out or... Oh, shit.
the lineup.
What?
I know what you're doing.
That crazy... Nah.
Oh, and
But then things take a little bit of a bump in the smooth ride of the ride of love. You know, that swan ride that, like, you go through the tunnel of love. Things get bumpy. They hit a little speed bump. Turns out that Caleb was hired by Jenna to essentially spy on Hannah to see what she knows in regards to what happened with Allie and all that stuff, to know what she knows. And it brings up, like, an interesting point where I think, like, and Jenna is not A at all. And I think A may also have something on Jenna in a sense, because essentially Allison knew that Toby knew that Jenna was the one who was essentially forcing Toby along, and there's evidence of it. She has like a videotape of it, or like a recording of the fact. And essentially, Jenna tasked Caleb to essentially look into it because that can be damning to her. It'd be very weird. She'd be a brother fucker. She'd be like an intentional brother fucker. It'd be mad weird. I don't think she can go to jail for it. People would just look at her with a stank face from now on, like, ugh, you trying to fuck your brother? That's nasty. So there's that. So Caleb was contracted by Jenna to go ahead and do that. So eventually Hannah finds out through like Hannah finds that out through like also what Spencer and Toby were doing, and we'll get to that a little bit later. But essentially, Spencer and Toby say that Jenna was like conversing with someone using a locker combination. The locker combination pointed back to Caleb, and essentially that's how the transaction was made. But we discovered that, of course, Caleb did it at first, but then he got mad suspect because he was like, Jenna's being shady up to no good, and also Hannah kind of fine, and I'm kind of falling in love with her. There's that. So that there's a fallout for that. And then this all brings us to like the final episode. Caleb is going away because like there's nothing left for him anymore, and Hannah is essentially icing him out, and he wanted to like essentially say his like final goodbyes, so he gave Mona a note to give to Hannah. Of course, Mona's a professional hater. She's not going to give that to Hannah. She essentially throws it away. So like sucks for Hannah. She's never going to get closure with Caleb. Is Caleb going to be gone for the rest of the season? I don't know. I know not, because I literally, while searching for pictures for Caleb, saw season 6 Caleb, so I know that he's here for all like 7 or 8 seasons or whatever. I was spoiled on that, but it's fine. So if there's a moment in any of these seasons where I think Caleb may die, unfortunately that has been a spoil for me, and I won't feel any dramatic tension. So that brings us to, where is A at? I want, like, you know, when they do like the final wrap up, I want them to show every location of where A was at when she was making these text messages. Or he. I still think it's a girl. I still think it's Mona. And I'm calling it early so that way no one can say that I. Okay. I'm interested to see what that. Anna and Spencer's storylines are top tier, bro. Anytime I get.
It's one of the things that makes it such
when Arya's parents are having better plot lines than her, like, I think it's time to.
Sorry.
Don't get excited. A's gonna be right around the corner to implant more evidence. That's must be hard to hear as a mother, because it's just like, damn, you didn't think I would have your back?
Hello, Pam.
But she hasn't really shown that she would. 80% of the suspicious shit they be doing, it means absolutely nothing. Like, they're most likely just fucking. That's it. That Hannah, no. I'm staying, because she's misshapen, bro. She's shaped like Oogie Boogie. What's going on? They need to fix the pillow. Fix the pillow. Look at this fucking chud ass fucking cop, bro. Yeah, sure. And is that a murder weapon? If so, putting your hands all over that. Sometimes I feel like their hunches are either, if their hunches are completely right, this is just terrible writing, by the way. What happened to Detective Waldino? Walden. Is it Walden? Walden.
Because you've been treating me.
Spencer, low-key the main character of Pretty Little Liars, because she out here figuring stuff out. So post everything with Toby, Spencer's kind of coming around on him, thinking like he actually may know something and he's not like suspect number one. And because of that, she essentially goes up to Toby, just like, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and tutor him. And I'm going to tutor him, and at the same time, I'm going to try to get some information from Toby, and also information about Jenna. She goes over to Toby's house. He's all like scared and shit. He's scared of like the haunting of Jenna. She's just like over there, just like walking creepily in the background, blind as hell. She got daredevil powers now, so she can hear every conversation that they're having. Toby writes her a note, scared. He's like, Jenna's listening. We can't talk about shit here. Leave. And over this conversation, you kind of feel like, I don't know, there's like a little bit of a vibe between Spencer and Toby. Spoiler alert, they become a thing. So over the course of this, Toby and Spencer are of course getting closer. And also Spencer's closer to getting to some sort of truth, because remember, there's a laptop with Ian over there sucking face with Allie, and they had this like just on the laptop, and then like when Spencer woke up the next morning, she went to the laptop, and it was just like, oh shit, where the laptop at? It's gone. I don't know where it's at. Ian may have took it. So yeah, Spencer thinks Ian took it, and now the plan is to at the dance. We're back at the dance now. At the dance, to essentially sneak into his office to see if he has a laptop there. So that's the main plan of what Spencer is doing during the dance. There's a weird confrontation between Ian and Spencer. Very rapey, very much rapey vibes, and like I don't like it. Again, specification about how much older like Spencer and Ian are to like. It's weird. Again, I keep saying this because when the actors are so close in age and also very much over the age of 18, they're at least 20. From what I checked, at least Arya's actor was like, I think Arya's actor is like the closest to my age, I guess. Like I'm 30, she's like 36 or some shit. So it's just like I think it's like this weird thing where it's just like when you cast characters that are older and also there's supposed to be this weird age discrepancy and they're dating like older people or getting like coerced by older people, it's kind of like hard to like believe it because the motherfucker looks older than I am now. Not really. She looks good for her age, but I'm just saying like some of the actors look good for the age. Some of the other actors look like Stefan Salvatore from Vampire Diaries. This motherfucker with the receding hairline is not fucking 17 years old. I don't give a fuck what you say. Anyway, I digress. Spencer and Ian have a weird, uncomfortable conversation, and also there's like weird alluding to the fact that like yeah, Allie ain't no good girl either. I think this is probably the best way to squeeze this in because this is a subplot regarding, or it's the main plot that's revolving all the girls. There's this play going on. The play is very like on the nose referencing Allie, the type of person Allie is, that maybe she has like a little darker side to her. But we know this already. I don't know why we needed this episode to reiterate that Allie is a little bitch. Anyway, this episode is mostly flashback, mostly like working on the theater stuff. Ezra and Arya are having a little argument bitch fit in the background. We're not even going to worry about, I'm not even going to talk about that when we talk about Arya's bullshit because I'm tired of the relationship. I'm only in season 1. Someone already spoiled to me. It's going to last for much longer than I wanted to, so get used to me just being mad. Anyway, they're practicing, rehearsing for a play, and during this time, we're getting like flashbacks of a party that they went to, a frat party. You got Hannah in her titular fat suit, you know, the one pillow underneath her body. That way we know she's fat. That's how you know I'm fat. I just have a pillow underneath me. But anyway, the girls are at this frat party, and then like Allison goes off with some other college girl or whatever. And they're worried about her because she's just a little girl. She's just a little girl at this frat party with a bunch of older dudes who are drunk. And essentially, what ends up happening is a girl falls down the stairs and is injured. Like she's like very much injured. She fell down the stairs. We assume one of the frat bros did it because they were trying to be forceful. But then like over time, you kind of suspect that like Allie pushed the bitch down the stairs because that's just how conniving and evil she is. But it was just weird. It was just reiterating the fact that like, yeah, Allie is like kind of a monster, and like that's what this realization was. But we kind of like realized that literally episode 1 when she's like holding leverage over her best friend's father who is cheating on her mother. It's just like if she's willing to do that, I bet she's willing to do like a lot of other things. I know they try to pull the wool over your eyes with saying like, oh, she's just doing this for her friend. She's just looking out for her friend. Her father shouldn't be cheating on her mother, blah, 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 blah. Nah, she's a bitch. Anyway, during the play, there's like a bunch of props in there. And one of the props is like a bloody trophy. Of course, the girls panic. They bring it over to the police. Police be like, this is like the 8th time y'all girls called us over here. This is fake blood. Stop worrying about it. Shut up and just focus on school. You know, the fucking boy who cried wolf type stuff, you know, so that way when something real happens, no one is going to believe them. Oh, you clever bitch. So back over to what Spencer is doing. Again, she's figuring stuff out. She gets the laptop back, of course. Information's gone. What do you think? Come on, Spencer. What, you dumb? Are you dumb? They still suspect Jenna of possibly being A. Again, I don't know why, but yeah, they suspect Jenna of being A, and they're trying to figure out like who Jenna is meeting with, what is she doing specifically. She has like this meeting with some guy or somebody at this hotel, motel, Holiday Inn. So Toby and Spencer go on a little adventure. They go on a little adventure to a motel to essentially spend the night. Mind you, this is after Spencer got the news that maybe she would be implicated in the missing of Allie, because rewinding it back a little bit, Spencer received a photo or what have you by A, showing that Spencer was essentially arguing with Allison the night of the murder, or at least in the vicinity of her with the night of the murder. Spencer is worried because she doesn't like remember what happened, or like isn't really sure what's going on. She thinks she's being implicated in all this. She goes to Jason, and then which is Allie's brother, and then Jason is like, yeah, this is Photoshop. I was just like, I don't know why you would think it's Photoshop. He's just like, yeah, this is weird. This isn't necessary. And then Spencer's mom gets noticed that they are possibly looking, the police are possibly looking into her as like a prime suspect for murder of Alice, that Spencer may have done it. So like Spencer is freaking out and stuff. And this is also what kind of draws her closer to Toby, because now she's kind of being treated like a pariah, at least by the police, that she could possibly be the one who killed Alice. And so she kind of feels like what Toby is feeling. So that's how they are able to connect. So now Spencer has a battery in her bag. She needs to solve this mystery because she's like number one on the chopping block. So she needs to figure out what is going on. And then this brings us to the night before Toby and Spencer go to the hotel. Essentially, Spencer has like mental episodes and like she's overstressed and all that stuff. They met with a therapist and they're like, yeah, Spencer, you kind of doing too much. You kind of wilding out. And then her parents are like, yeah, you got to stay here because like we don't know what your mental faculties are right now. So you need to stay at home, stay put. Spencer, of course, is rightfully crashing out because she's like being like accused of murder, even though like she didn't do anything. But it's funny because literally the night of the fact where they're like, yo, you are not mentally sane, you need to stay home and relax. Literally, she dipped out with Toby to go to a motel that's like a town over or whatever by herself. Like, see, this is why I don't like these parents. They're over here like being restrictive and saying one thing, but like your daughter's like halfway across town with some dude who had an ankle bracelet last week. What's going on here? And also, it just doesn't look good, the fact that Spencer's with Toby, who was also a suspect in the possible of Allison's murder. So there's that. So it's a weird thing. But anyway, back at the hotel, we're at the hotel. We're trying to figure out what is going on. What was Jenna doing? What was she with? Who was she meeting up with? Toby and Spencer spend the night. We're forming Spoby. Team Spoby is popping up. Spoby is in the house. They stay in the bed together, and little romanticism's going on. Next day, and then they decide to break into the room that Jenna was staying at, and then that's where they find the clues to a secret locker where, of course, Jenna was trading messages and making payments to Caleb to essentially spy on Hannah. So then there's that. And again, this is where we also realize that there's actual concrete evidence that Jenna was the one who was like pressuring Toby to do the dirty or what have you, and then Jenna's desperately trying to get that information, and she's trying to figure out who has it so that way she can get it back. So like I don't think Jenna's really up to anything. I think she's just like, again, just like she's the same as the Pretty Little Liars, but she has her own separate secrets going on. And maybe season 2 they'll join forces or what have you, but I don't know. There's also another person that we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about Garrett. Pemily. Oh no. But now that they're suspected, I don't think he's working. I thought he was working for A, but like, I don't know now. Because every time they're suspect of somebody, I always go the opposite direction because they're idiot. Damn, Canna. I was rooting for the number 1 ship. Team Spoby now. But the thing is, we don't know Jenna's role in all this. We don't know if she's A, she killed Allison. Yeah, they always take her side even when like Spencer's like the victim. Told her parents that like, oh, she made out with Ian, who was significantly older than her. Oh my God. Slapping a blind person is insane. But also, like, fair enough. I get y'all blinded her and you have the nerve to slap her. Oh, this weekend's the Friday the 13th. Imagine having to break this down to your daughter, your 16-year-old daughter, that like, you're being set up for murder, I think. Yo, H just be doing shit. I don't even know what this is for. Okay, so it seems like I'm gonna have to also add Garrett to the list. So Garrett is essentially this another part of like the friend group, or the one of the older kids in Rosewood. He is a police officer now. He was like in the same group of Melissa, Ian, Jason, and then there was Garrett, one of the older kids or whatever. They have their own little secret. Again, they're off in the corner somewhere with their own little secret. Don't know what's going on with them. He comes back mysteriously. He's just like, hey, girls, I'm on your side. I'm trying to help you out or whatever. But we don't trust policemen. And especially we don't trust policemen who try to set up Lizzie McGuire in when she went to Rome. Yeah, I recognize that actor from the time when Lizzie goes to Rome and then she falls in love with this Italian pop star and then he fucking sets her the fuck up. I see you, Paolo. I'm sorry, I just recently saw the Lizzie McGuire movie again because I have a 25-year-long crush on Hilary Duff. I'm sorry, and it's only getting worse as time goes on because my ADHD brain. Going back to Garrett. Garrett's a police officer. Garrett is sus. He's like, oh, girls, I'm on your side, but he's doing like background shenanigans with Jenna, and they're smooching on each other. They're in cohorts with something, don't know with what. And again, like, I don't know if it's necessarily in direct conflict with the girls, because I think A is both their enemy as they are the girls' enemy. I'm sorry, that's what I am thinking. But like, yes, it's weird because the show thinks we're dumb. They think we're dumb little girls when we're watching this. Not saying girls are dumb, I'm saying just the little ones are. Same with little men, little non-binaries. They're all dumb. They think we're dumb and we don't know the fact that like who's on whose side, who is possibly A, who isn't. But I'm also afraid that because of bad writing, anyone could be A. Or his mom could be A for some reason. I don't know, but like, I don't know. Each time they try to like get us to think that Jenna is A, I'm just like, I don't think so, but it is what it is. So Garrett is also just like going around just being very suspicious. So I thought I would just like drop him in at this point because he's directly tied in with Jenna now, and Jenna is also suspect number one as far as Spencer is concerned about all this stuff. So yeah, there's that. Garrett and Jenna sit in the tree. PLOTTING. They're plotting. So continuing Spencer's story, Melissa's pregnant. She's pregnant with Smart House baby. They're going to go and live in Smart House for the rest of their lives. But anyway, Melissa's pregnant now. Maybe not much for longer, because we'll talk about that during the finale. Melissa's pregnant. She's covering for Ian, of course, because that's the baby daddy and everything. Clearly, Melissa is aware that like Ian has been seeing Allie, at least in the past, and she's covering up because I guess she just ride or die for her, man. She's ride or die for Smart House. But granted, if I get to live in the Smart House someday, I would probably be ride or die for him as well. I gotta stop mentioning Smart House because there's a huge possibility most of you guys watching this never seen the hit Disney DCOM known as Smart House. I could have been more obscure and went Luck of the Irish, but like, I don't know. I felt like I missed my time. I felt like if I would have uploaded this in March like I wanted to, I could have made more Luck of the Irish jokes. But yeah, shout out to that guy, bro. He's like a childhood classic for me. He's like, oh, he's also in Final Destination 3, the worst one. I'm sorry. I'm done with these tangents. We'll stop with the tangents. So Ian, Smart House, Melissa, pregnant. Boom. Ian is for the rest of this season, Ian is just being antagonistic to Spencer, just being like, hey, you stop looking into stuff, you're not going to like what you find, stop looking into stuff. Essentially, it seems like the biggest secret is the fact that he was like fucking Allie. As far as we know, that's like what he was doing. Again, we don't know if he killed her, but like judging on what happens at the end of the season, I don't think he did, because why would you get rid of like who killed Allison? Why would you solve that within the first season? I feel like that would be like season 2, because I feel like the first half is figure out who killed Allison, and then like the second half is figuring out who is A. But also there could just be terrible writing, and it could just be a stupid bullshit answer anyway. Speaking of the ending, a lot happens. Spencer and Melissa are riding in a car together. Of course, they're arguing because that's all they're able to do together. And then, boom, nowhere, truck or car, mid-sized sedan hits them. Most likely there's going to be a miscarriage. I just picture it right now. I picture it mostly because of what happens to Ian at the end of this end of the season. It'd be tragic if she just has like a little smart house baby and then Ian's, spoiler alert, Ian's fucking dead. Or maybe, I don't know, he ADHD brain, calm down. So Melissa, Spencer get in a hit and run. Spencer just like for some reason is just free to just roam around, even though like technically like she should be held up by police and people questioning her like, yo, what's going on? What do you mean like you got into a hit and run? Your sister could possibly be like dead or have a miscarriage, and she just dips because she's too busy because she set a trap for Ian because essentially what happened is, rewind, they colluded with Garrett to essentially set up a trap, get revenge on Ian, or to get to basically prove that Ian is a culprit. So they basically held information for ransom. They were like, hey, yo, this information, and we're going to want you to fucking pay money for it. Pay money or we'll leak the shit. We're going to leak your shit like all over the internet. We'll do that right now. And they do that in order to like sort of obscure the fact that it's the girls that are the one that are trying to set up Ian, because like if they set it up as like a ransom sort of thing, it could just be anybody who happened to found out this information is willing to leak it. So they essentially set this up. They set up like a drop point of like where to put the money at. And then Spencer's just focused on trying to set that up. So she goes to like the destination alone, but then Ian shows up and he's just like, I figured it out. You're not smart. You're stupid. They meet up at a church. He's like, hey, yo, Spencer, your ass is mine. It chases her through like the bell tower or whatever. It's very epic for like a mid-budget, like a CW type drama or whatever. Or this is Freeform or whatever the fuck they were calling themselves at that time. Chases them up to the bell tower. Spencer is in trouble because Ian's the big man taking control. And then A just pulls out in the cut, pushes him off, and then he hangs himself on the rope of the bell tower. Spencer, of course, is in panic. She runs, calls the girls, calls the police, like, hey, yo, Ian is dead. Police come to the church. They're like, what the fuck do you mean Ian's dead? He ain't here. Cue dramatic music. Ian is not here. And then A is just like, hey, yo, don't worry. I got it taken care of. I got y'all. Because guess what? I'm not done fucking with y'all yet. It's only just begun. This is season 1, baby. Oh, no.
I'm going to go with that.
Ooh, okay, Spencer. The one-liners? Spencer's the main character of Pretty Little Liars. I don't care what anybody says. Who's that? Oh, I didn't know. I thought he hit the ground. Actually, that's kind of sick.
What do you mean?
Don't tell me the body's gone.
There's nobody in there.
Yo, these girls are constantly known for like calling the police over bullshit. Okay, but like, did Ian kill Allison? That's how we're ending season 1? Got a secret, can't keep it. So that's pretty much like the wrap up for season 1 of Pretty Little Liars. What we missed, a bunch of Arya stuff. I mentioned for the fact that like Hannah was setting up Arya to try to basically snitch on Arya's relationship to their parents because Hannah was in a little bind. She was being blackmailed, but that didn't go through. Instead, what happened is Arya's parents essentially went to the movies together, and they started having a little thing together because you know what, they still kind of love each other just a little bit, but that doesn't last for long because they didn't really talk out their issues. They just like went straight to fucking, and then they thought like we're together, but they're not really together. It's very up in the air. Who knows if they get back together? We love a nice broken family subplot. That's honestly the most interesting plot when it comes to Arya. Yeah, that sounds like a sore subject. Pro tip, if someone's in the foster system, they are not on good terms with their parents or they're dead. Spencer, dumb little beret.
All of us, Hannah.
Yeah, and you would do it too.
That A would threaten me with that would make me do that to you. You're supposed to be my best
If A would have threatened your relationship with Ezra, she would have been like,
Take it in your mom's mailbox.
it would be the same situation. Whoever paid for the song to be here paid because they damn near played the whole song. She's giving a little birth to a smart house baby. Oh, okay. Now we have It's always the same. I have to sit through an entire episode just for like 15 minutes, a total of 15 minutes of actual content. Arya and Ezra are still like a thing. There's like a hint of a moment where you see Garrett pulling up on like Ezra's apartment when Arya walks out of it. So you assume that Garrett is going to finally arrest the monster that is Ezra for doing these dirty deeds, but still nothing. Again, we don't know like how Garrett plays into this. We don't know if he's going to become a villain in the next season. So we don't know what he's going to do with that information, because this is information that he knows. Garrett knows that Arya and Ezra are together, so at least he can feed that information over to Jenna. That's pretty much it for Arya, what she got going on. Emily's like a different story. Like her stuff is like kind of so far disconnected. It's not even funny. Emily, of course, is like a very talented swimmer. She's like the captain of her swim team, or at least trying to be. They introduce Mose from Ned's Declassified. She comes over here with the most ridiculous bowl haircut ever. I don't know what she was thinking with that hairstyle, but she's here, and then she's also trying to like compete for it. She's kind of like one of those characters who's like uptight, goody two shoes type of person, try hard. She gets mad because people naturally like Emily, even though like Emily has no aura. I'm sorry, Emily is like the least charismatic character amongst the group. Like if I was to rate like the girls based off of charisma, Hannah would probably be at the top. Spencer would like be up there. Like she has like Spencer's more like of a lead bad bitch, less than like having like fun charisma. Like I would be friends with Hannah. Spencer is just like the bad bitch leader type. Arya is just there, and also Emily is also kind of just there. Her plot lines are the fact that she's a lesbian, and she's trying to figure that out. But now that she's kind of figured it out and accepted the fact that she's a lesbian, now her plot lines are essentially trying to get other people to come to the fact that they're lesbians, because you have Paige. Paige secretly likes Emily, at least a little bit later in the future. At first, turbulent water, because Emily's taking leadership. People like Emily. She is the captain. Paige tries to drown Emily, and I'm sorry, like if this is not going to be a How I Met Your Mother of the fact that like, yeah, How I Met Your Mother is like she tried to drown me. Isn't that funny? She tried to fucking drown me. When I first met your mother, she tried to kill me. Yo, these girls be grasping at straws. Any little bit of information, they're like, maybe they know.
Want her to get away with it. Well, I can stand up for myself. What you never did with Allison.
You should have told her. Or slap the shit out of Paige. Those are the only two options you have.
Thank you for making sure my
Either rat them out or... Oh, shit. What?
I know what you're doing.
That crazy... Nah.
Oh, and by the way, they're barnacles.
Learned that from SpongeBob. SpongeBob, me boy. And also, she snitched to her father, just like, hey, yo, I didn't get the position. And then he's just like, hey, that's because she's a DEI hire, right? Because she's gay, right? And then, like, that's a whole plot. And then Emily's mom stepped up. She was like, hey, yo, she's not DEI. Paige is all sad and butthurt. She shows up to Emily, like, in the middle of the night, crying in the soaking rain and all some sympathetic shit. I'm just like, bitch, you tried to drown me. You ain't getting no sympathy from me. And I'm also calling the police. Get out of here. Get away from me. But slowly they build a relationship, and they start to like fall for each other, I guess. And I hate this for like a plot line, because I feel like this happens to gay people and black people in like a certain plot line, where it's just like they introduce like the most toxic, unnatural match for them, but because they're also gay, or because they're also like black, Asian, what have you, they are kind of like forced to be together in a sense, and it kind of sucks because Paige sucks as a character. There's nothing endearing about her. Actually, the entire time that they're together, Paige is just like the worst. She's not really a good match for Emily. Where's Maya at? Please bring back Maya. We need her. Or some other like love interest for Emily that's a little bit more like natural, other than Paige. I really don't like Paige. Don't like her whatsoever. So yeah, with that being said, that is Pretty Little Liars season 1. Unfortunately, the board is out of commission due to the fact that I have a cat that will not stop like pulling shit down. It will be fixed for next time. So for season 2, let's just say if we can get this to 100 likes, it'll be a season 2. If I don't see that many people interested into it, I'll probably just like, I don't know, scrap the series, I guess. Who knows what's going to happen. But yeah, I'm excited to see more. I'm excited to talk more about Pretty Little Liars, regardless of if I do a video for it. Season 2 is going to be watched. So head over down to the Patreon if you want to see me watch it. Yeah, like, comment, subscribe. What other series you would like me to take a look at? As I said, the next big one I'm tackling is Lost. So with that being said, see y'all next time, and peace.